This week's Nerdfights is brought to you by the Corovian Healthcare System. The fine people at the Corovian Healthcare System remind you, if you can walk away, it's probably not Corovian. And also by these guys, because I guess for some reason they want to support Salty. Those sons of bitches.
And we are here.
Man, with the cans on, that bass note in that goofy music just hits like thunder. That, and I'm so tired.
So I just want to say, we spent 10 episodes last year talking about this show, and I was really looking forward to talking about Battlestar Galactica. So I'm a little hot. I'm coming in here heated already. And you don't want me to talk about hockey? F you. I didn't want to talk about Strange New Worlds. So I want to just mention the Las Vegas Golden Knights are your Stanley Cup winners, baby. Woo!
I'm sorry, you broke up.
Hey man, it's all good.
You like mass? Is
You
it
want to be a
over?
hater? You want to be? Yeah, we won last night. We smashed them 9-3. 9-3. We smashed them.
You know, Mike, you should just take this as a blessing.
Game 5, man.
Hockey's over.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to this.
Yeah.
You got yeah, man. Yeah. Well, although no, you will, because Saturday they're having the big parade on the Strip, and you best know my ass is going to be there. Wow.
I don't care because first of all, hockey's not even a sport.
What?
It's just a brawl on ice with a piece of compressed, a piece of compressed buffalo.
Again, I've lost my privileges because I'm a frack up, but Stacy almost dodged a dibble. No, if you bet the over, it was a double digit. So yeah, it was a double digit score. Yeah,
Nobody cares.
Oh, you're so wrong, sir. What kind of a parade, Darren Wagoner? It's the kind of parade where they parade around the Stanley Cup in Los.
It's going to be a pride parade. A pride parade where they're all going to touch their cup.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. It's okay.
It's well, see, because it's not in Canada, so it's just a cup this year.
In Canada, I'll grant them that it's kind of a sport, and that's only because Canada doesn't understand what green grass is like. They only have ice, and so they have to work with what they've got.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So hey, I did want to thank. I want to give Jason, my favorite Canuck, my Canucker from another mother. He helped
from another mother.
Yeah, I thought whatever. We got to come up with a clever name for him.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever. Yeah. So no, he helped me set up Stream Elements. And today, you know what I did today? I got to give another shout out to my lovely second ex-wife, Stacy, who's a school teacher. I got an account today at the Teachers Credit Union here in Nevada, and got that shizzle linked up. So now your boy's legit, and I can, So thank you, Jason and Stacy.
You're very welcome.
Now when you're doing your wrestling live streams, you can actually get tips and stuff.
Yeah, or on breakout content or anything like that.
Yeah. I do need to add it to that link. Man, that video is still going like bananas. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Yeah. So I need to put that link. I need to take your advice. All of this just happened. That's why I got here like 2 minutes before. Stacy just helped me do all that, and with the bank account thing because she's a teacher. And yeah, man, I'm stoked. I'm gonna add that link.
All right,
maybe something happens, maybe nothing happens. But hey, you know,
you're prepared. You're ready
Yeah.
now.
Vegas gets the pretend trophy, and
The real one,
Frack.
the real one stays back here, baby.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, it's not like you guys get the real thing.
Darren, he got more X's than Marvel Comics. I apparently suck at relationships, man. I don't know. I think it does say something that Stacy and I have remained very good friends and good co-parents. Even though, like, what we used to tell everybody was, if we just stayed married, one of us would be dead and the other would be in jail. So I think that says something, like that we do as well as we do as friends, better friends than lovers, Yeah. Dude, stop what? I'm just giving you acknowledgement, Stacy. Okay, whatever. Fake ice, fake cup. Frack you guys. Man, why is everybody hating on Vegas, man?
Because
Dude, the owner called that. He said in 2018, within 6 years we'd win the Stanley Cup. And guess what? We did it.
Yeah, and you know how many people care? About 12.
Oh man!
Wow. Okay.
Got some sad panda news that just rolled in.
Oh no. Oh no.
Treat Williams has passed away. Motorcycle accident today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer.
Who's that? I'm
Today or yesterday?
No, I'm drawing a blank on who that is.
Treat Williams. He was in.
He's an actor. Gosh, I don't know. Like he's been in a ton of stuff, dude.
Or Evergreen or whatever. There was a TV show he was the lead on. He was in the second.
He's in a ton of stuff, dude. He's one of those actors.
As soon as
like,
you see him, you'll
yeah. He's in. What's sad is I can't think of a single thing he's been in, but he's been in like hundreds of things. It's like.
Well, he was in the sequels to that movie, to the whole thing with Navy SEAL guy protects high schoolers or whatever.
So Nermal the cat tips $1. Thank you, Nermal.
Super tip.
And asks.
You used the wrong link, by the way. You're supposed to be using the link pinned in my chat.
No. Don't start that, or I will kick you off the show.
Wow, dude, it was a joke, man. Wow,
I know, but I need to pay the bills too.
Wow.
Things like that.
Wow.
Dude. Come on.
Wow. Did you not like my thumbnail, or did I just get it to you too late?
I told you last night. You got it to me too late.
All right. Well,
I did tell you that last night.
I'm using it on my channel, so
that's great.
Okay.
Anyway, Normal says, are you guys going to watch season 2 of Foundation, which also drops this week? I'm going to watch it, but I don't know that we're going to be reviewing it on Nerdfights, just because I don't know if both Danny and
no, because don't you remember back when I
don't know if you have Apple TV.
No, back when I used to be one of the cool kids and was allowed on the Salty Nerd channel, I helped review season 1 of that show, so I'm quite familiar with it.
That doesn't. You know what? No, I don't remember that because I wasn't there for that. So I.
What the hell was that? Are you blowing your nose and you
Jason
forgot to?
Nose without muting his mic.
That should have been muted. Well, that was a fail.
And it sounded like either that was the worst snicker ever.
The only thing that saved me is since switching to the dynamic directional mic, it doesn't really pick it up when I move it out of the way.
Yeah. Damn, man! Like, what was this fool doing driving a motorcycle at 71? It's bugging me. I can't remember what other movie he was in. He's been in a ton of stuff, Mike.
My favorite thing he's been in that's a campy movie is Deep Rising.
Okay,
the one with the underwater bit, the deep sea serpent thing, eels or whatever.
Hold up, I gotta go to his IMDb.
I've already got it up. I'm bringing.
Okay. Dude's been in so much stuff. Yeah, he was in 132 movies.
Yeah, he was in The Devil's Own. He was in.
Yeah, I see. He's like a character actor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's killing me. What's the one? What was the one that Tom
he's that guy
Berenger
that
did?
was never the lead, but you'd seen him in something.
The
Yeah.
Substitute. He did the Substitute, like the second, third, and fourth Substitute movies. The one that Tom Berenger did the first one of.
Okay. What a
Now, in fairness, just because he was 71 doesn't mean he couldn't handle being on a motorcycle.
no.
If
Well, I
didn't-
know, but like that's just a. I mean, Stacy, who's in the chat, basically made me get rid of my motorcycle because she didn't want me to die on it. So there's that.
Well, it just depends on how you ride. I would be on my motorcycle today if it wasn't for my MS. I miss riding so much.
Yeah.
But I can't ride because I just physically can't do it.
I feel you.
I'm too big of a schmeghead with speed. I'd have to. I'd never be allowed to drive it.
What do you just you're electric?
I'd be in a ditch dead in about 4.3 seconds.
Dude, my dad's dad, my grandpa, God rest his soul. He was so gangster at I think he was at 67. He rode his motorcycle from Houston, Texas to Sturgis for Sturgis.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's I don't know. Like that's and Stacy can attest to this. There were hundreds of bikers at his funeral. It was gnarly, man. It was the gnarliest thing ever.
But yeah, I miss the bike so much that unfortunately, if I ever had enough money, I would get a trike because I could still ride one of those.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I can't do a bike anymore.
With a little sidecar for the wifey,
No, she can sit behind me. She doesn't have.
Oh
problem.
no! You know what you need to get then? You want the wind blowing through your hair? Get a slingshot.
Oh, those little things.
The
Oh, my
two
God.
wheels up front, one in the rear, and then you
look-
could side by side.
Look at Mom's comment. That's hilarious. Look at Mom's comment. Throw that up on the screen.
Yeah.
Over 55 should
Well, you
be on
see-
motorcycles or ladders. See, I'm not allowed on a ladder no matter what because I'll find a way to fall up the ladder.
Penny, you're just wrong.
You said it, Mom, not me.
So
I do not endorse that statement.
And the thing about
My mother is never wrong, sir. You're wrong.
No, she's wrong about this.
No, no, you're wrong.
The adults are talking, okay? As far as motorcycle deaths are concerned, it's about how you ride, not about how old you are. And yes, cars are very stupid, and most motorcycle deaths are technically the car's fault. But at the same time, they're usually avoidable by the bike rider. Because you have to be able to anticipate, a lot of times cars cut off motorcycles, which is why if you're on the bike, you don't put yourself in a position where the car can cut you off, right? So, and because motorcycles are so maneuverable and everything, you can avoid those situations 99.9% of the time.
Hey, I got a question, guys.
What?
How long does it take for a shiner to disappear? It's been like 2.5 weeks, and I'm still having to wear
Well,
sunglasses.
when we were all 20 and sprightly, probably like a day or two.
The older you get, the longer it takes.
Yeah, but now if I happen to bruise, it takes a
Yeah,
good
man.
solid week and change for it to finally bleed.
Oh,
out.
I've never had one, so I don't know.
Good Lord. So, all right. I'm not
As
allowed
far
to
as-
talk about
as far as trikes being harder to drive than bikes. I don't know. I've never driven a trike. However, my problem is that I can't hold the vehicle up when I'm at a stop, and that's not an issue with a trike. So while the maneuverability may be trickier to get used to and all that, as long as I don't have to physically hold the vehicle up, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And I would probably end up getting something like the slingshots are cool. There are other custom built trikes nowadays that are just designed as trikes, so that are easier.
those weird.
Than
Have you seen those weird cars that they're technically classified as motorcycles because they only have 3 wheels?
The slingshots?
Yeah, that's the
what we're talking about.
slingshot.
Is that the slingshot? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I don't know.
And so yeah,
So you and Darren buried the hatchet. Apparently, I noticed he's back on the show.
well,
Or,
somewhat. I mean, I unblocked him, and then he comes on here and insults me all the time. So that's
But at least he's being civil about it.
yeah.
not saying as much. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, hey, or go ahead. Sorry.
so by the way, and just to answer what you weren't here, but to answer what Jason and I were talking about, the episode list is available on Wikipedia as far as season 2 of Strange New Worlds. So
Okay.
So
I thought we were rehashing.
No,
season
we were
one
talking
today.
about we don't know what episode, like, because for
We don't know the names.
thumbnail and stuff for tomorrow. What's the episode name? Well, the episodes are all published, and you can see them on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Like, tomorrow's episode is the Broken Circle.
Oh, they do have them up on Wikipedia now because
Yeah.
they still don't have them on IMDb. So.
Yeah, and then the Ed Astra per Aspera, which is the trial of Una. Tomorrow, among the Lotus Eaters, charades, Lost in Translation. The one I'm really looking forward to, Those Old Scientists, Under the Cloak of War, Subspace Rhapsody, and Hermogeny. Those old scientists
Hegemony.
probably going to be crazy.
Hermogeny, is that what you said?
What did I say?
Hermogeny. I think he said hermogeny.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what?
It's like Hermione's going to wave her wand
I
or
am
something.
dyslexic, so I will blame it.
Yeah. Hey, did I just see a super tip pop up? Is that what that was?
And so let me refresh.
Super tip.
Says,
Again, wrong link, guys. Wrong link. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Dude, you gotta stop that.
It's a joke, dude. It's a joke. I'm sorry.
And says, I'm enjoying my Toyota Scion. I just bought red sports car. Bluetooth interface with my phone makes me happy to be alive. Well, I'll let you pretend that's a sports car.
Right on. Brian McFarland, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. Good to see you. I did want to say, because I haven't actually got to even, because we didn't get to talk, because I got here like right at the thing. Stacy helped me get this account. I haven't even got to tell her yet. I think I have a place to live.
Well, that's
Remember, I was looking for a place to live?
Yeah.
I got a very, very, very promising lead. And the great thing is, it's here in Southern Highlands where I live. It's like, I really fingers crossed, man. I think it's going to work out. It's going to be good.
Well, I have some news since you weren't here that I need to say is that the package has been shipped.
Oh, is it? It's probably going to be melted if it's like. Do I need to go check my mail?
They do pack it on ice, so I'll get you the shipping number. So that
Okay, yeah, because if it's here, I need to go get it because it's I live in the desert.
But no, I got an email saying that it has been shipped. So
Okay.
So for those of you that don't know, since Danny likes to brag about his incredible fortitude with hot foods, I decided to get him a little something to test his fortitude and to punish him for his various indiscretions.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put wasabi up each nostril while I eat this, and I won't be
Just out of
phased
spite.
at all. Yeah.
You say that. I've had this chocolate bar.
Okay.
According to this, it will be there. Oh, it actually says today. So
Should I go check my mail real quick?
it says, it says it's coming in the mail.
I'll be back. Let's see.
All right.
Ooh, I'll eat this now. Hold up.
So yeah, it's. Let me tell you, Darren, because you mentioned Little Nitro. First of all, Little Nitro compared to this thing is like 10 times worse than Little Nitro. And so I would do Little Nitro again before this any day. And so if Danny, if it did arrive and Danny stooped up, just put it in his mouth, I can't wait.
Oh, by the way, that place in the mall does actually offer shipping to Canada, so there's some pretty
Oh, that place that I was
yeah,
talking
yeah, in the
about.
Opry.
Hot sauce
Yeah.
is really good. I did some air fried chicken where I took my usual seasoning mix. I have my own little secret recipe of seasonings that I do on my air fried chicken, but I mixed in some of that hot sauce, and it was really good. It was almost like my own version of hot chicken. But
Yeah, I might have to order some sauce.
yeah, that place is really good. There's a place in Opry Mills Mall that features nothing but hot sauce. That's like the entire store is just hot sauce, and they do have super stupid fire hot sauce, but the one that they recommended is not super stupid fire hot, but it's very tasty.
Yeah,
and it does have a kick to it, but it's not like I'm dying kind of. Yeah, the bug kebab. Wow, that thing was nasty. Oh, don't remind me of that.
What was the bug? Because I was only listening. I was cleaning a car that day. You were doing the challenge.
It was a stick with insects on it, and it was the season insects.
I think I got it. I'm not sure. I got a package here.
Yeah, that's got to be it then. Is it from Blum Loco?
BTF. It's from New York. Let's see.
Oh.
That's probably not it, man. I don't know.
It looks very envelopey and not.
Yeah, that's not it.
Oh, this isn't it. Oh man. It's actually a it's a thing I made for a client. That's funny.
Stupid clown.
So yeah, something normally you'd be excited to get. It's like
Yeah,
you're
well,
not.
it's,
You can't be eaten.
Yeah, no, it's like
Well, that's weird because it says
custom
scheduled
sunshine.
delivery today, but it also does not show out for delivery yet.
Yeah,
Are
if
you
it's
sure that's today's mail, or could that be yesterday's mail?
Oh no, definitely today's mail. Definitely today's mail. Bummer.
oh
Well, here I'm putting in the private chat. Here's the tracking number.
Okay. Damn, I was excited, man. I was
Me too.
excited.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to do it tomorrow on the show.
Yeah. Although this is a little concerning. I got some certified mail, so like,
Yeah, certified mail is always concerning.
yes.
jury summons.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that in the mail. You would get.
No, you do. I have one
Yeah.
of those over here. But no, it's nothing I care to talk about live, so it's fine.
All right.
Legal stuff. That's fine. Man, you had me excited.
I'm sorry. So, Martin, the chocolate is seasoned with, among other things, Carolina Reaper. And so
I can't wait.
It comes
can't
in
wait.
so it's something like 13 million Scoville.
Yeah.
And
can't
so
wait.
it is very, very, very spicy.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now. No, everybody, this is live. Everybody, I'm gonna tell you right now. I cry all the time at dumb shit. You can ask these guys all the time.
Oh yeah,
I will not shed a single tear when I eat this bar. It's got nothing on me. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Anyway, sorry.
So what you're saying is we're not going to have you eat it while we're recording Battlestar because
No,
Well,
no,
that
you-
wouldn't be fair. Yeah, that wouldn't be fair.
That'd be dirty cool.
I'd be crying. Yeah, I'd be crying. Yeah, I'd be crying for the wrong reason. Yeah.
No. We're done on Nerdfights. Like hopefully tomorrow night, if it comes tomorrow, we can do it before.
Oh, Brian, you bastard! Brian knows me all too well. He says, "Wrath of Khan, final scene, roll it." He knows. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll have that queued up.
Niagara Falls every time, man. I can't. It's just yeah.
Anyway, so
What?
Darren was asking.
my son is like the Human Torch. He loves spicy food.
Oh, yeah, Darren. I just sat, even though I couldn't eat my breakfast that morning. I just sat in awe and watched his son just continue to put hot sauce on his breakfast quesadilla, and I'm just like, he's going to take out the whole table with this thing.
Like, I think it's some kind of weird scientific thing because I have not always been this way. it wasn't until my gastric sleeve that spicy food seemed to have no effect on me. It was really weird. It was like a side effect, like a superpower side effect I got.
Yeah.
You know.
So there is a superhero that you might be able to identify with. He's called Matter Eater Lad.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, his superpower is he can eat
What?
anything.
So he was basically like Bortus from.
Yeah, he can literally just eat anything.
The Orville.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he's not quite as exciting as Arm Fall Off Boy.
Brian, I'll tell you what. I own the. To answer your question, Brian, this is a Google Pixel 7, and this is the best phone I've ever owned in my life. I love this phone.
Yeah,
I cannot speak to.
He grew up in the slums, and he doesn't understand what a good phone is.
You know what, man? That's what I get for trying to interact with your crowd. That's fine. Whatever.
Well, actually, one of the more interesting things on that phone is Jerry Rig Everything, Zach, who loves to snap phones into, said that it's possibly the best Google Pixel they've ever made.
Don't get me wrong. I like to make fun of everything that has anything to do with Danny. The Google Pixel 7 is not a horrible phone, nor is the Samsung S21.
I don't even know what's the difference between the 7 and the 7A, because I have the 7.
I don't know, because since I don't work at Verizon anymore, I'm not keeping up on what the latest and greatest models are. But what I would...
Brian, yes. Dude, the camera on this phone is insane. Go ahead. Sorry.
The camera on almost all the phones nowadays is
they're all silly.
Crazy. I mean, like the iPhone 14, what the things the camera can do are just stupid.
So I've got night sight, I've got motion, portrait, camera. Like you got low light. Dude, it's sick, dude. And if you go into I use T-Mobile. I don't know who you use, but if you go into like one of those stores, they'll let you, frack around with it and test it out and play with it. But this is definitely the best phone I've ever owned.
What I honestly, because all the phones, this is coming from someone that's worked in the biz for a while. All the phones that are the flagship phones, if you're looking at things like the Pixel, the Samsung S series, the iPhone series, those phones, they're all really good phones. They all have really good components made by really great slaves over on the other side of the planet. They're all mined by great slave labor and all that. But which one is the best one? Put them in your hand, play around with them. Which one feels better? And if you go to
just the 7 Pro's too big, Brian. I can't handle that. It's way too big. Anyway,
and so if you go to because Danny's got little tiny hands, and you know what they say, little hands, little hands.
I'm not Donald Trump, bro. What the heck? I mean, I got these are some pretty big meat hooks. What are you talking about? Oh my God.
What about Donald Trump?
I don't know, but as a side note, his hands are on the wall at Madame Tussauds in New York. So I actually got to put my hand up beside his mold of his hand. His hands are small. He's got small hands.
Yeah. Little tiny hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, put them in your hand, feel them around a little bit as far as how the interface is. And which one is better for you is the one you should go with, because remember, you're going to be using this thing for the next couple of years all the time. And that's what people don't think about, is that this is just, a tool that, don't think about it as, a fun toy or whatever. It is a tool. And the Dork Knight tips $4.20. Thank you so much, Danny.
Super.
And just make sure everyone subscribes to the Salty Nerds podcast.
Okay, that definitely wasn't me.
I don't know. It sounds like
and I'm just gonna say, nobody's clicked on my link yet, so frack all of you. And I see my ex is here, so hi, thanks for that.
You know what was funny is I almost thought that it absolutely was you, because it felt like a pay it forward all of a sudden.
Hey, it's not. You do say things like that. Now, why are you hiding?
I'm hiding my tears because I did not expect my ex to show up in the chat, and it's got me a little verklempt. So give me a minute. Sorry.
Okay. Hey.
I'm a man. Go out. My ex is here.
No, he's in touch with himself, dude.
No need to be mean, bro.
Don't do me ugly, man. Here's a movie
Just
reference.
saying.
Name that movie.
Mom, I feel bad. The only reason you still have that phone, Mom, was because I was able to finagle it for free. It's not a good phone, and I feel bad. I got to get you a better phone. I'm a terrible son. I'm sorry.
You are a terrible son, but
The Samsung S9 is garbage. That's a garbage phone. So,
I disagree. I don't think
It was okay, but it became less useful pretty quick. By the time the second OS upgrade came out for it.
The S7 was lasted a lot longer than the S9. But the
I had some weird gimmick where I could get that if I added a line, I got the phone for free. So I added my mom to my plan. And
so your mom was just a freebie to you. That's all your mom's were.
Well,
and yes, Stanley, that's a Galaxy phone. But then all of the Samsung phones nowadays are Galaxy phones.
Yeah, everything's Galaxy. The letter is what matters. S is their premier line. A
Galaxy
is their entry level.
Yeah, Galaxy is just the name.
I really don't want to get public about this, but you could have replied to my text last night or this morning or whatever instead of just showing up on the show. Like, that's cool.
It's easy as a right to show up like anybody else.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I'm glad you like it, Mom. I'm glad you like your phone.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
It's okay. Welcome to showbiz. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Anybody can show up at any time.
Galaxy class, Salty's favorite.
The fat one.
Yeah.
Well, that is probably why I like the Note phone so much. It's called the Galaxy Note, and they were the fat ones.
Yeah,
dude. I'm telling you, Brian, I cannot recommend the Pixel 7 enough. I think you'll love it, especially if you've just been dealing with Samsung. It is
off where he said enough. He cannot recommend.
No, it's the pinnacle of an Android phone. It really is. It's really good. And if you got bigger hands than me, or you like obnoxiously large phones, you can do the Pro. I just have the regular because I can't. And to me, this is still pretty big.
Yeah.
Well, and really, the only thing you're getting is the bigger, higher resolution screen.
Gee, nobody would ever do that to me.
Huh?
Just have to text Salty Checker at 2 a.m. this time. Best time ever, yeah. Well, when you call it ice soccer, anything can happen.
Dude, I was so I'm not gonna say I love how you tweeted me. You added me yesterday. Oh, they can still turn around, and then they got crushed 9-3. Noticed how you didn't say anything after that.
Yeah, but first of all, I don't care. I never cared. The Nashville Priests. I mean the Nashville Predators were not in the running.
Shots fired.
That was good.
They were not in the Stanley Cup finals, so it didn't matter as far as that's concerned. And even if they were, it's freaking hockey. It's not like it's a real sport.
Wow!
It's like team wrestling. It's.
Are you just trying to piss me off? Do you want me to leave? Just say hey, Danny, leave. I'll leave. You don't gotta be
I don't know. I think at
Wow.
this point, I think he's trying to fish for the passive aggressive Canadian reaction here. now.
Right?
I already gave you a pass because I understand Canadians don't really have anything else. But
Oh my God.
I mean, you know,
Anyway.
So yeah.
I mean,
we should
because you pay for
probably,
moose tipping.
yeah, we should probably.
Wait. Stone, our team captain, Stone, is he from Canada? I have to look that up. I don't like. I mean, I'm a fan, but I don't like know the biographies of all these people. But Stone's the one that got the hat trick last night.
Well,
I'm sure that
if the-
everybody on your team that's any good is from Canada.
Well, and if they're not from Canada, they're from Russia.
Right? Or Czechoslovakia, close
Yeah,
enough.
exactly.
They certainly aren't from Vegas.
No, they're entirely from
I'm sorry,
Tampa
you know,
or
like,
something.
what? Come on. Are there any professional hockey players who are actually from Vegas?
I mean, is anybody actually from Vegas? I mean, come on.
Well, there are people born in Vegas.
I mean, like, hookers, but like, who cares about them? I mean, come on.
Well, then, okay, so you're whatever, dude.
Damn, you're right. He is Canadian. Well,
Ha ha ha.
whatever. He's ours
The
now.
cup's still ours, sucker.
Damn, I didn't know Stone was Canadian. That's crazy.
It's
All
okay.
right.
Did you know that you don't really have the Stanley Cup?
Okay, so I just found the stats. Get a load of this. Out of by far number one players in the NHL right now, 445 of them are from Canada.
Of course.
Out of how many players?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Still a pretty good
445,
percentage,
I mean,
though.
Yeah. So by percentage, current active players, 42% Canadian, 28% US.
Wow.
And then the rest is like European folks. of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost half.
So a quarter of the NHL is American.
And everybody else is Canadian or a Canadian adjacent.
Oh, Canada.
Why do we call it? We should have called it the CHL.
Yeah.
I think they have one of those, don't they? I don't know.
That CFL football.
CFL. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. One less down and a wider field. Because reasons.
Violent Night. I love that movie. I don't know what relevance that has on
Because
today's
you
topic
up to a
of
point you
discussion.
kept saying you were still watching it every once in a while. So are you still watching it every now and then?
I love that movie. Oh
Right,
my
well,
God.
We're halfway to next Christmas. So are you like,
Dude, no, it's
watching
one
it
of
in
those
preparation
movies.
for-
No, it's one of those movies like I'll have on in the background while I'm doing graphic design. You know what I mean? Like I've probably seen that movie. Like, I guess not seen it, but I've played that movie at least 100 times since it came out. Like, literally. Like, I love that movie. It's so good.
I love the movie, but not that much.
Oh,
It's
yes.
so
And
good.
Stanley is correct. Big things. A CFL regulation football is larger.
Yes. Oh, man. So, I didn't get to get in here early to talk to you guys about this. Today was like a really good day. Got the bank account thing, got the stuff tied up, got a really promising lead.
That's stuff that you don't need to talk about on the show. You know,
Why not?
Yeah, but that's
People-
why.
like-
It's all right.
Yeah,
people tune in to hear about the drama of Danny's life.
It's not my drama. No, this is the opposite of drama.
This should be
is good news.
celebrated. This is
yes,
good
this
stuff.
is.
Come on.
Yeah,
now.
no. Well, you know,
I'm doing
I'm
it wrong.
So
Yeah.
Danny's not going to be homeless.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think
I've.
I'm really excited. It's an. So this is why it pays to be nice, people. Do unto others, whether you're Christian or not. That's what I always taught my kids. You do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. About a month or so ago, I helped this elderly lady whose car broke down, and I ran into her today after the bank thing, and she was just like, "Oh, how are you doing? You know, thanks." You know, like, she was like, let me know how like I helped her out and her stuff worked out and everything's good. And she was like asking me about like what I'm going through, and I was like, yeah, no, unfortunately, Cece left me. I got to find a place to live and blah 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 blah. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, the entire bottom, like the first story of my house is empty. I would be more than happy to rent it to you. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And I had to go because I had to get here. And so she gave me her phone number, and she was like, yeah, just call me. And I'm like, so this could be cool, man. This could work out really, like, this could be great, like I could, hopefully she doesn't die on me. That would suck. But, she's really nice.
Are you going to get out of freaking Nevada?
Well, after my surgeries, dude, I already told you, at least after the 2, I probably will. I already told you this. My hip, Monday the 19th, I find out the date. Then my neck. I'll wait on the shoulder. Hey, you got a super chat.
So Forza, thank you so much.
William Riker? Is that William Riker? I think it's William Riker. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he goes by Forza Jersey around here. And says, howdy, folks. How's everyone? What's up, Salty? Hey, how you doing, Forza? Good to see you. We have not yet, here we are, 44 minutes into the live stream. We have not yet even. Well,
first of all, this whole live stream, I couldn't care less about. I thought we were talking about Battlestar, and you want to rehash last year's.
So Danny's in phone it in mode right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I could I do have the episode list pulled up.
You're kind of a jerk, you know that? You're supposed to be a professional. And we're supposed to be trying to do a good show for people.
I thought we were supposed to be talking about Battlestar Galactica, but no, you want to
This isn't called Battlestar Galactica Fights. It's called Nerdfights. And so
he's checking to see how much we can stay on our toes, man. That's all it is. It's a test.
Yeah,
this week is the premiere of Strange New World.
Well, so actually, I should not be such a dick because Jason wasn't with us last year. When we talked about this show, so I don't know how. I don't know his
channel.
Yeah. So you're right.
Yeah.
So I apologize, gentlemen. We've burned up a good 45 minutes. Let's get into the. Do you want to get into it? I think Jason should lead it off though, because everybody's heard our opinions. Our opinions. So.
All right, so Strange New Worlds, which aired just about a year ago now, 10 episodes per season, which I'm not a fan of the short season, but it is what it is.
Me either. Yeah.
But obviously prequel series to the original series. And so
is it really though? Is it really? You should link. Ooh, you should put in the description the link. You did a video with Brian and Shane.
I'm not going to link to their video because I'm going to redo it.
You're going to redo it? Okay. Well, you had a really
that was the triple timeline, right?
Yes. And I agree 100%
so my
with that.
theory, in a nutshell, which hopefully Thomas isn't here because he gets really mad whenever I talk about it.
he disagrees with it entirely.
Yeah. But my basic theory is that when after the events of First Contact, the Borg were left behind, that in essence, it did create an alternate timeline. It had to have created an alternate timeline because the Borg are there in Enterprise, which means we're not in the original timeline. If we were in the original timeline, the Borg would not be there.
Hey, Darren, that's gross, bro. That's so gross. I'm deleting that. That's gross.
I already put you in timeout once, Darren. Jeez, you just...
Yeah, not cool, man. Not cool. Wow. All right. Anyway.
He keeps hitting on a 20.
This is what I said. Darren, come on, dude. Just be. Can't you just be nice?
Well, I mean, there's. I'm
the one who literally has salty in his name, and
yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
So
anyway,
so yeah.
So dude, that better be a joke. Is that a real spoiler? Is that a real Battlestar? This is why I don't. This is why I'm not cool with us not talking about Battlestar.
Martin's messing with you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's totally messing with you.
Okay.
All right. So we have to be in an alternate timeline, at least in Enterprise. And I know people hate the idea that Enterprise is an alternate timeline, but it is.
Well, they found the Borg in Antarctica for crying out loud.
Yeah.
In the original timeline.
Yeah. You know.
All right. So that right there in and of itself explains why the technology in Enterprise is way beyond what Spock describes their technology as being when he talks about their time in Balance of Terror. Because in Balance of Terror, he says about 100 years ago, there was a war between humans and Romulans. And at that time, the ships didn't have, they had nuclear, they had atomic powered vessels with atomic weapons. They didn't have visual communication. Yes, Danny.
So, okay, not just the Romulan thing, the Klingon thing. We were always told there was this, like, you know, the first encounter with the Klingons was so bad it was not even spoke of. And then it was kind of lame in Enterprise. And then why didn't we ever get the Romulan version of that? We never really did. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to do these prequels, why not do some kind of sweeping epic, like, give us the World War
here's the other
Romulan thing or whatever, you know?
Is remember ironically enough, the episode called First Contact, Picard describes first contact with the Klingon Empire that led to decades, plural, of war.
Yes, but did we get to, no? We got broken. Yeah, we
got
broken bow.
Kind of happy.
Yeah,
right?
Where Lord Z and his crossed eye goes back and
And so
anyway.
It would appear that the whole thing with the Suliban and all that was in this alternate timeline where the Borg were deposited in the past, and so Enterprise, and then with the higher tech levels led to Discovery, which also clearly has higher tech levels, which in turn would lead to Strange New Worlds. And so,
I guess I have to agree with that because it was a spin-off from Discovery. But
I mean, but the nice thing about this, it would give Strange New Worlds freedom to do whatever the heck they wanted. If they wanted to kill off Uhura, it would not break, canon because they're in a different timeline.
You have summoned.
Are they gonna? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Thomas, if you really want to,
we'll get into that, Thomas. I don't have a problem talking about
Thomas, if you really want to piss him off, I've got a link pinned in my chat. You should click on. It's a joke, dude. It's a joke. He's not going to do it. Calm down.
Everyone's calm. It's all good. Hey, look, you passed out.
Sorry, this is me having a good day.
You're having a good day. I can just tell.
Don't turn green. Don't turn green.
You got to see if there's like a way to get a filter that can just change skin tone to green. So in the way that it does the head tracking, it'll do like the skin tone tracking.
Yeah.
So but it does make sense if you start thinking about it logically, as far as the tech levels and everything being so much more advanced in Enterprise and
Discovery, and like Thomas, I don't.
Strange Worlds.
I'm not trying to poke the bear, and I don't know your previous arguments over this, but aesthetically, at the very least, it seemed to me Discovery took a lot from Enterprise. At the very least, aesthetically. Yeah, just at least aesthetically. You know what I mean? So I disagree with you, sir. Which probably means he won't click on my link now, but that's fine. I gotta be true to myself.
But and then the nice thing is that also means that when we start talking about the Kelvin timeline, the J.J. Abrams films.
Do we have to?
Well, here's the thing. They were branched off not from the Prime timeline, but from this new alternate timeline. Which is why everything in the Kelvin timeline looks so much like Discovery. think about in the Kelvin timeline they have
So
windows.
is Discovery in the Kelvin timeline then?
No, but Discovery. Okay, so you have three. That's why it was called the triple timeline.
Okay,
you have the prime timeline. So the prime timeline.
Because you're right, but is that just because of God? What's the guy's name? The dude's the shit. The show the Kurtzman. Kurtzman. Is it because Kurtzman had something to do with do you think that's why?
Kurtzman was actually involved in all in Star Trek 2009 and everything else.
All the way through to now.
Yeah. So maybe that's why stylistically it looks the same.
And exactly. You know? See, like Darren points out, bridge windows are the giveaway. Everything in this timeline except for Enterprise has bridge windows. But Enterprise is before the windows were developed. Or at least they were still experimental, because we did see it on the USS Franklin, but that's which is that's from Star Trek Beyond, which remember the USS Franklin predates the Kelvin, which means it had to be from their prime timeline.
Star Trek Beyond, that's that third.
Yeah, the third.
That's the worst.
Double down on Beastie Boys.
Don't get me started on how bad Star Trek Beyond is.
God, no, that is the worst Star Trek movie ever made.
My goal, and when
even worse than Star Trek 5. At me, bro. I'm serious.
No. I'm, dude. I am so. I've fought people left and right that Star Trek Beyond is the worst Star Trek movie. So
it's garbage.
I absolutely believe that.
Okay.
Anyway, what we see is that it's consistent that if Spock in this, so we have this alternate timeline that was created. Spock in this alternate timeline goes back in time and creates an alternate timeline off of the alternate timeline. That's where we got the Kelvin timeline.
Okay. Well, hold up.
That's why there's three.
Okay. We got the original timeline. The Kelvin timeline.
So the original.
What's this other timeline?
So the original timeline is TOS, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and the movies, right?
Yeah.
So that's all original timeline. Then we have First Contact goes back. Borg creates alternate timeline. Alternate timeline is Enterprise, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, right? Then you have.
No. Okay. This is where you're losing me. Please, I'm sorry.
So the Borg timeline is Enterprise, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, right? That's timeline number 2.
But the Borg have nothing to do with Strange New Worlds?
But they caused a tech jump.
The Borg being left in Antarctica created this timeline.
Okay.
Jump, yeah.
Okay. I got you. Okay.
Then the Kelvin timeline, the ones from the films, is an offshoot of the Borg timeline, not an offshoot of the original timeline.
Which that makes sense because Enterprise predates all the timelines.
So that one is, Star Trek 2009, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond.
Damn, Darren is shooting shots, man. Oh my God.
I can't deny that I am heavily medicated, but I have been arguing for this since long before I was medicated.
Yeah. However, what is frustrating for me, and to move on to the show, because
so we talk about Strange New Worlds, and that it would explain a lot of the visual differences.
The only thing that aggravates me with the show, to be straight up honest,
there's pronouns, pal. Which show? The show.
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah, is that, and I managed to get through the first 4 episodes in the last 2 days. So
is that all you've seen? You haven't watched the whole season?
Oh no, I watched the whole season.
Oh, okay.
I've already watched the whole season, but I'm just getting a rewatch because I only watched it one time through, and then watched you guys talk about it. But The only thing that drives me nuts is that they constantly drop in little things that absolutely keeps Discovery alive in canon, even though they, as Stan
they have to,
points out
because
earlier not that one, the comment up above where he asks about them putting everything as classified so as to bury Discovery out of the timeline.
Right.
But
you got
but yeah,
Strange New Worlds came directly from Discovery.
Oh no, I get
like,
that, but this is something a lot of people have agreed to, and we've talked about this, I think, even on the show a couple times before, and that's this classic issue that if they were just simply willing to just call reboot and just.
Right.
And frankly,
They
from
should.
this,
They
and frankly,
They
from
really
this show
should.
forward, they should have just said reboot. They should have said, "We know we've got a really good thing on our hands. We're going to just pretend everything else didn't happen because we know it really didn't actually execute really well." And everyone is, for the most part, very happy with this. And and I do agree.
There's only one bad.
Darren, they will never ever abandon STL.
Yeah.
It just they.
And I think that's just a matter of pride more than anything else. They just can't let go of it.
Well,
Because I'm watching this show over the last 2 days, so this stuff is super fresh and in my mind. And
yeah,
I
but
gotta
you
tell
didn't watch. If you only watched the first 4, like you didn't watch like there's one.
We'll
really
go over episode by episode in a minute, but
okay. I will say there's only one turd out of the first season, in my opinion.
Okay, well, we'll get to that turd when we find him in the
We'll drop
water.
that turtle when we get
Or in Danny's case, he's going to drop kick it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I found that it was extremely rewatchable. I felt an urge to actually stay away, and I have not had a lot of sleep over the last few days. I've not been able to get a proper sleep for some stupid reason. And anyway, I actually stayed awake for all 4 episodes that I watched, and I cannot say that about trying to go back and do a rewatch on season 3 Picard. I kept falling asleep. As much as I don't
really?
Yeah, as much as I don't dislike Picard season 3, it just couldn't hold my attention in the same kind of way as doing the rewatch on these 4 episodes of Disco or of Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
And you know, like I say, other than the here and there reference to stuff from Discovery and you know, a couple of other little things that at first I thought were agitating, but I actually I find them a little bit more endearing now. I know some people have had some issues, perhaps with, you know, the more laid back approach to the way the bridge crew react or the dialogue is. I know there were people that were grumbling about how, say for instance, with the preview for season 2 of this, they've got Spock going, "I would like the ship to go now." You know, and people don't like that more playful attitude. But the funny thing is
I thought that was hilarious.
I'm watching this, and you know, I actually like Ortegas more and more on the second watch through.
I actually do like her a lot, but to the Spock thing, and I super chatted this. I think it was yesterday with the Popcast guys. You got to understand, if you've watched The Cage, which is canon because of the menagerie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Spock is
canonized it in Discovery season 2.
There you go. So Spock is a completely different character. Like we've got so much. What do we get? Like at least 7 years, right? I mean, in theory, right? This show.
That show that takes place approximately, what was it, 8 or 9 years before?
Is it 8 or 9? Okay.
Yeah, it's because it broke off from Disco basically at the 10-year mark.
Okay, so I'm actually really looking forward to, because we're going to see. I think if they keep it in line with the actual timeline, we are going to see Spock smile. We are going to see Spock kind of not be the Spock we all know from the original series, because it's a different person. He's a younger person. He's half human. He's got he's still growing into who he's going to become. And I think there's a lot of clay to mold there. I think there's a lot of fun that can be had with that, and I'm looking forward to that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I don't have, and this is why I say I would love to lean this whole thing towards just calling it a reboot, because I don't mind my half and half Spock being a little bit more towards the emotional side. Like, I know a bunch of people tried to make a big deal about calling him emo Spock with the funky beard in Discovery, but the fact is he's no longer that. You can just kind of headcanon that stuff out of the way, and he is half human. Like, they were going for a shtick in the original series. The guy's a computer thing. And then eventually they started realizing that they needed to let that go because it was a little much. And I don't mind the way that they're doing it. And I actually like Ethan, right?
The interesting
Ethan Peck, or Pex, as I like to call him. Pex.
Yeah, I actually enjoy him doing Spock way more than Siler from Heroes.
Zachary Quinto. No, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Zachary Quinto looks more like Spock, but Ethan
doesn't
Peck
sound like him.
Right, but what I was
Spock.
going to say is Ethan Peck personifies Spock.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'll tell you, the wife, Mrs. Salty, she cannot, and she's one of those people, every single secret hideout Star Trek production she hates with a passion. With every single one. She hates Discovery. She hates Picard. All 3 seasons. She refused to watch beyond the first couple episodes. She hates Lower Decks. She just cannot stand, but loves Strange New Worlds. Absolutely. And thinks, and what sells her on Strange New Worlds? Spock.
That's cool.
She was like, hey, Spock is back. Because Spock was her favorite character from the original series.
What does it for me is the return to episodic television. I love that.
That's a big deal too. Is that
Well, actually, the better part, when I even just getting through 4 of the episodes, for me, it helps key off a lot of memories on all the other episodes, so that I can just look at the title and the short description, and it reminds me of everything that's in it for the most part.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The reality is that as much as it's an episodic show, they are being very careful to keep serialized plot lines carried throughout the
Pike's
episodic
trauma and stuff like that.
Well, Pike's trauma, Noonien Singh's involvement with having been captured by the Gorn and the whole Gorn thing, the whole bit with the Illyrians with number 1.
So let's talk about each episode. We'll just give each episode.
Hey, Thomas Potts, thank you. I gotta get with Jason. I don't think my little graphics can show up on this channel, but thank you for the $1. That was sweet. Thank you, man. I just saw that. Thank you. Right on.
You're fired, Thomas.
it was just $1, man. It was just $1. Don't get mad at him. He's probably just trying to test it out, make sure it worked, But it work. So,
check
as much as you
1,
want.
2,
Yeah.
check. So to the first episode, Strange New Worlds.
So the first episode was called Strange New Worlds, which was the one where we start out with Pike disheveled and considering permanent retirement, and basically being pulled out by Admiral April because number 1 got herself into trouble.
Well, hold up. Don't forget about the fact that my man is like pulling a Kirk, and he's with,
Yeah, but he's with another captain.
He's basically getting laid. When the show starts.
The twist is it's not some yeoman or something. Yeah. It's another captain.
Yeah, at least it's not violating chain of command here.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because I couldn't actually remember that, and I was waiting for that to get explained again while I was watching the episode yesterday. And I said, okay, yeah, there we go. So I got to remember that.
I do like how they bookend this the first season. So like you start out with, and then they end it, and she's the one that arrests Una. And he's
we'll
like,
get to that when we get to the last episode.
Okay, all right,
Let's
sorry.
Jump ahead of ourselves. So just focusing on Strange New Worlds for a second, I want to say this is that I really like the fact and I do think they did this on purpose. Pike in this episode was in the same place. If you look carefully, the Pike was in the cage. If you go back and watch the cage, I'm not talking about the menagerie here. I'm talking about the cage because what we know
the actual pilot
in the future.
Yeah.
But Pike was sitting there talking to Dr. Boyce about how he was fed up with Starfleet and he was just going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was absolutely done dealing with the stress, dealing with all the crap. And this was before he found out what his ultimate fate was going to be.
No, he found that out in Discovery.
Yes, but remember that we find out that the cage happened 2 years or 3 years before Discovery. Remember, the cage, you got to remember the timeline.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
From the time of the menagerie, the cage was 13 years ago. Discovery was 10 years ago. So the cage.
They did not really do. Hold up. They did not really do a good job of, like, at least
they actually, but they did in Discovery season 2. They showed clips of the cage as a flashback. And remember, they brought Nina in.
Dude, I do not want to rewatch a single second of Discovery, but I might have to now because I don't recall this. And
I will say this: as much as I hate Michael Burnham, Discovery season 2 has some really interesting ideas. And Michael Burnham goes to Talos, and that's how they get Spock's brain to work again.
Yeah, I remember that. And they
couldn't do that if they hadn't already been to Talos.
Yeah.
Oh, Martin, without getting in trouble, the link on my channel, it's just a way to tip me. It's a joke. It's like a joke. Like, no, I'm just answering a question. Jesus, man, I'm sorry. Didn't want to think it was something serious.
Money.
Whatever. I've gotten you so much money. And where's Ariel? Come on. Just off Ariel alone, I've gotten you hundreds of dollars. Where is this chick? Ariel.
Stop. Okay, stop.
Show up.
Just stop. You're not helping.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I really appreciate the fact that they start this episode by putting Pike in the same place that he was at when we first saw Pike in the Star Trek franchise. That here's a man who's broken and doesn't want to be there.
And he has a glorious beard. I mean, there's that too. I mean,
that was quite the epic beard.
Yeah.
But we also see things that are consistent, like
hey, Gorilla.
And there are things that people actually complained about that I gotta say I wanted to punch people for. Like people say, "Oh, what is he doing riding horses out in Montana?" It's like, did you not watch The Cage?
Oh yeah, he was all into the horses, and even in the original pilot, like he
did. People really get upset about that? That's weird.
You know what's funny is they get crusty about him riding a horse, but why is it I'm the only one that points out? And this is the only real nitpick I have of Strange New Worlds, and that's because they carry over a absolute stupidity from Discovery.
Oh God,
we're in warp drive land with fusion power. Why is there a freaking windmill and solar panels on the Jesus Bridge in San Francisco?
Yeah.
I know the windmills. The only thing I could understand, I could try to put together is that maybe they're Pike's, but like if that whole area is like Pike's ranch, they're Pike's windmills. He just likes windmills. He's just like off the grid.
That was honestly the only thing that I could possibly think of as well. But I'm thinking like everything is like EPS conduits, electroplasma technology, and your phaser's got as much power as a small coal power plant.
I will take that and raise you. The name of the horse was Tango.
So, okay, Gorilla. Yes, I have two. One is the Enterprise D bridge lamp, and another one is the the original series Enterprise lamp. I haven't posted them yet, but if you're interested, just like DM me and
So this episode is basically let's get the crew together and get to work. With this episode also introduces us to the new Spock to Pring dynamic.
Oh, okay. See, I was going to ask you.
That got a lot of people hot.
I was going to tell you. I was going to ask you. What do you think my favorite thing of this episode was?
to Pring.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we buried the
Oh,
lead.
Pring was hot. I'm not going to deny. Pring was the hottest new character, I think.
Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full, sir.
So I will say, and I know.
Yes, they do have the shades. Now you're going to make me take pictures. I'll take pictures here in a minute for you.
So a lot of people got angry because they assume that Spock and T'Pring never met except for when they were children. Even though that's never said in dialogue, there's no reference to that whatsoever. The only thing that Spock says is that there was a ceremony when they were kids, making them betrothed.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know, and Spock was looking at a childhood picture of her when Kirk came in. However, and people say, well, why would he be looking at a kid's picture of her? And I point out, you know what? I have pictures of my wife on the wall right there of her at all sorts of different ages. So if I'm looking at a picture of her from 30, 40 years ago, as opposed to a picture of her from last week, and you happen to walk in and I'm looking at the picture from 30 years ago, you can assume I haven't seen her in 30 years?
Well, that's just stupid. No, like that's so funny because I was just talking about this the other day. I don't know if Stacy's still here, but my second ex-wife and I, we've known each other for 30 years. So, newsflash, that means I was 14 when I met her. So, yeah, there's actual, archival footage and photographs of she and I as children. Doesn't make it weird to be looking at it, and certainly doesn't mean I haven't seen her since then.
And it's not like not to get gross, but it's not like Spock was touching himself or something while looking.
Right? I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, why did people like? And Vulcans live for a crazy long time, and everyone goes right to the, to the bear mascot that shall not say its name. Like, come on.
The bear mascot.
That's a internet culture thing. You probably missed it.
Yeah, I missed that one. I'm like, what the heck is he talking about? But yeah, so so a lot of people say, oh, that's a canon violation. And it's like, nowhere does it say they never
First
met.
of all, the whole damn show is a canon violation. It needs to be called a reboot or a reimagining.
Well, first of all, no, it's not. So stop with that.
But it is.
No, it's
Martin
not.
Devon. Dude, thank you. Another $1. You guys are sweet. That's awesome. I got to figure out how to do this animation thing.
No, you. Really
I'll send you the $2, Salty. Don't get so mad. Oh my God. Here, I'll do it right now. Where's my
Shut up. Gorilla says, please elaborate to Jason.
Huh?
Gorilla says, please elaborate, Jason.
Please elaborate.
He's asking you to elaborate.
Oh, wow. It's an old thing that somebody picked up on from the
pedo bear?
mascots. Yes.
Sorry. Was I not supposed to say that? I was not supposed to say
Well,
that.
I was trying to avoid saying it, but I was given the back history on it. It was
okay.
It got created because of a bizarre set of cartoon characters that were created for the Japan Olympics back a bunch of years ago, and then 4chan got a hold of it, or somebody 4chan adjacent, and then a whole meme fest got created, and the news got tricked to run it as a mascot for the Olympics. It was the beginning of 4chan doing all kinds of crazy things.
Martin has a really interesting question, and if I may, please, if I could have at least the ability to highlight
This one?
No, not that one.
That's Stan. Sorry.
The
one with the
pleasure themselves.
that one. That one. That's an interesting question because.
Well, from everything
Is it
we
logical?
understand,
Is it illogical? Is it like
yeah, that's right. They rub fingers. Remember,
it's like,
making some fire.
We actually, when I was a member of a Starfleet Star Trek fan club, we made a Vulcan sex guide, and it was just pictures of hands in different positions.
So Stan says it's not logical. So you're saying that masturbation is not logical? Because I tell you what, I got my celibacy beard rocking here.
All right, dude, we don't.
And
need
if
to
it-
get in- that, no, drop that one. No.
Smile and
We're
wave,
not,
boys.
we're not going to turn this into a discussion about what you do in your spare time to pleasure yourself.
Sorry, I think I had a stroke for a second. Anyway.
Yeah, it looked like it. I was like, what happened to you?
Settling down, boys.
Yes. No, I don't think I was going to take it as gross as you thought I was going to take it. So that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, but it's you.
It's okay.
See, you know what? You know what I love about how much, even though, okay, as a complete side note, even though there's almost too much movies and too much TV because we end up with a lot that's not very good. The upside is that the amount of meme sourcing that can be done is just off the charts. And I gotta go dig it up and make a new clip. And every time, Mike, that you start falling towards it, it's going to be the clip from Fury Road, and it's going to be "That's bait."
So I do want to say, Stanley, I don't know where you've been. I've been saying this for weeks now, literally been weeks. Yes, if I'm clean shaven, you will know why. Because this is my
Oops.
How do I keep getting muted? What's going on there?
Because we're not
know,
talking about your beard and why it's there.
But he asked. I'm trying to
I don't
interact with
care
you.
if he asked. We're not talking about that.
Dude, literally, somebody literally just said, "Hey, Danny, please elaborate." That's literally. I'm getting another Coke. I'll be right back.
That'll be for the after
And once
show
again,
show.
Girl says, "Hey, Danny, please elaborate."
Oh, Danny, please elaborate.
I think he's about the beard. No.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I mean, Strange New World first episode, I quite enjoyed it. Other than the frustration with the stupid windmills and the solar panels, I got
Right.
nothing to complain about. I
Which
really
that, I
enjoyed
think,
rewatching it. I know
those
it's
are minor
Discovery
nitpicks.
carry over.
as far
That's
as-
probably the reason why it really agitates me the most is because it's carryover from Discovery.
Yeah. And the thing is that if your biggest problem is things like windmills and solar panels, that's not a big deal.
No, exactly. Like that's the
And-
worst thing I've got to say about the series. Then
I mean, I have to say that when we got to see the new Enterprise, it was beautiful.
the only thing wrong with that Enterprise is the split in the struts.
I agree, it's too wide.
If they got rid of that split in the struts or reduced it, it would be very arguably the best looking Enterprise 1701, no ABCD.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful ship.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful ship. And the interior sets are also pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the engineering set, but the interior sets, other than that, I think are pretty good. The bridge, I think, they need to tone down the amount of lights. But
maybe
I
a
don't
little
think everything
bit,
needs
but-
to have a light on it. I don't think that every surface needs to have a light on it. I think
No,
that's-
but you know what? After what we went through in Discovery, what we got in all of Picard,
Yeah. At least they have lights.
dude, I'm not gonna. No, let's
Yeah, we
not
could
complain
see the
about the lights
characters.
because season 3 will show up and they'll shut off all the lights on us or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll be upset with what we asked
Yeah,
for.
so I think that it looked good. It does, and also, and I don't know if Danny can still hear us or not, but as far as people talking about whether it's a reboot or not, I'd heard people like Popcast and stuff.
As a side note, this is what happens when you go film your engineering at a beer factory.
If you're
that's
talking about the
where it
JJ
was.
films, I would agree. If you're
Yeah,
talking
that was
about
just dumb.
like the engineering, I think the engineering room in the TMP and Wrath of Khan was beautiful.
Yeah, that's how you do. That's like they could have taken a stylized version of that and put that into.
Ooh, what I miss? I heard Wrath of Khan. What are you talking about? What are you talking
Oh,
about?
yeah, we're
Talking
talking
about the engineering
about
room.
what has a better looking engineering room.
Yeah.
And the
dude.
the JJ movies are terrible.
Yeah.
But the probably the best option would be to pull the TMP/Con
Nah, man,
engine
no.
room.
The Wrath of Khan
and-
engine room's better. The motion picture was too like
Well, that's the same set.
Well,
no,
it was
a little bit more neon-y though. It seemed like it was like more neon.
Oh well,
to me.
the biggest reason why there's such a big tonal change with that whole set too was, remember they had the whole cargo bay was like seemingly connected to engineering too.
Right.
So they changed it up a bunch for the Khan movie, but yeah, they really could have taken that set and just reimagined it a little bit to match the design flavor.
Can we?
And it would have been a lot nicer.
I kind of really want to watch that scene now. Ship out of danger.
Well, you go watch it. It's up to you.
Yes.
So as he hugs his cat and starts crying.
Man,
why don't you have some chocolate ice cream while you're at it?
Man, you got the best shades on for this. Like you can pretend nothing's going on. You can just smile and
talk to you about your feelings.
You really can just smile and wave, and no one's going to notice.
But I would say this is that, I really got annoyed. I was watching some stuff from the Popcast guys, and I got to say I found it really annoying because they were talking about how freaking awesome Picard is. And how strange.
That's because Picard season 3 is awesome. What's wrong with you?
Let me finish, okay? I was saying how awesome Picard is because this is the triumphant return of Star Trek, and how Strange New Worlds is just like, oh, they're just trying to make it cool and throwing some Star Trek references in it. And it's like, no, honestly, Strange New Worlds feels like a reconstructed Star Trek in the 21st century. This feels like if you were to produce Star Trek in the 21st century, this is what you get. Where Picard, as far as Picard season 3, feels like you're trying to evoke emotions by pulling as much nostalgia as you possibly can, and which is what they did. I mean, that's
cried like a baby.
What he did.
Yeah, I love that show. I've watched.
Dude, I know you loved it. Okay, you don't have to tell me.
I've binged it. Not even kidding. Literally 8 times since.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's
so
still
good.
fun. And trust me, 5 years from now, you will realize how much it sucked, and you will apologize.
Whatever, man. And don't be like that. Come on, why you gotta can't I just like a thing?
Like the Star Wars
can't I just like
you're still
but the funny thing is in the grand realm of Star Trek TV shows and evoking the whole issue that cropped up with the Phantom Menace. Oh, that's good.
What?
On Nerdfights, Pussycat licks you. So the problem is we've had catastrophically worse Star Trek. And that's STD.
Well, yes, but here's the thing.
I'm just going to give you the juxtaposition between the shows.
Yeah, I'd much rather fight over Picard and Strange New Worlds.
But like it is, I must say, it is funny just how much you do not like Picard, Mike. Like it really is quite funny because
it is
because and I just got to say it like this is because the Phantom Menace to me was a thud when I watched it the first time. But the fandom in general was so desperate for anything that looked and felt like Star Wars that they glommed onto it, and they were coming out of the theater like their hair was on fire.
This is why I wish Mike would have hit me up a week prior, not a day prior. Because, no, seriously. Because like if we'd have done like an actual true rewatch of Strange New Worlds,
okay, yeah,
was it really so good, or was it we were just given so much shit called Star Trek that wasn't Star Trek that when we got something that was remotely like Star Trek, we loved it so much? Like, are we looking at it through rose-colored glasses? Huh?
You should have been rewatching it anyway because season 2 starts tonight.
That's not okay. It's not for me to rewatch. I'm talking about you, bro. No, because I think you're. No, because look, I liked it too. We reviewed it together in real time, and I have watched it a couple times since. Right. But I feel like I kind of feel like Strange New Worlds was just the least shit sandwich we got from Star Trek in so long that it seemed good. That's all. Like.
Which I disagree with you. I think Strange New Worlds was actual Star Trek, whereas I don't think Picard was. I think Picard was just a memberberry show that happened, and quite frankly, the story, the plot, and the resolution of Picard was nothing that you would have gotten on TNG.
Wow, look at this. See, my mom has to pick between one channel, and she's picking yours. I see how it is, Mother. Whatever. And no, Martin, my cat's name is Goku, not Spot. But, he does kind of look like Spot. He's a little lighter than Spot. Spot's a little more orange, my cat's more cream color with.
But remember,
orange.
Spot's actually a girl.
Yeah, and this is.
Now, I will say this: I think that Strange New Worlds, the episode of Strange New Worlds, was one of the stronger episodes.
It was okay. I will give it this: it's the best Star Trek pilot of any series. I'll argue. Yeah, I'll argue that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, and pound for pound, I still
think
maintain this is the best season 1 of any Star Trek series.
I will agree with that too. Although it's kind of not
sure.
fair because there's only 10 episodes when back in the day it was 27 or something.
Well, but what can I do? That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but even if you try to roll nice and say pick the 10 least bad episodes from TNG season 1. Yeah.
Now, granted, if you took the 10 best episodes of TOS season 1 and stacked it up against this, then TOS wins. But if you go against the first 10 episodes of TOS against this wins. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd agree to that. Agree to that. I've been slow rolling season 1 of the original
TOS,
series.
The first half of season 1 had it
was kind of rough.
Yeah, the first couple of episodes when they were trying to they didn't have the uniforms figured out, they didn't have the characters figured out.
Well, they also released them out of order.
But that's irrelevant. I'm just saying because they were still the early episodes.
Yeah,
they weren't in the proper order, but they were still the earliest episodes. It wasn't really until Balance of Terror was a big turning point for the show, and which is.
Can you hear him?
Yes, because you're holding him on the microphone.
No, I'm just curious.
I don't know. He's just ripping.
He's loud, right? Sorry. Yeah. No, I'll move the mic.
Happy cat.
Yeah, he's loud. Anyway, sorry.
All right, so next up we have Children of the Comet, where we have the Enterprise encounters a comet about to collide with a planet. Turns out the comet has some very advanced tech on it, and a very advanced ship guarding it.
Mm-hmm.
And
was this the one with the Uhura singing?
Sings to the comet, basically.
Yeah. I actually like this. I actually like this episode a lot.
I theorized, and the Popcast ran with my theory, and yes, I did come up with it and gave it to them, and they made the video based on my.
Man, are you bitter? I'm
not bitter at all. No, I gave it to them freely. I'm not saying
okay.
They stole it from me.
Okay.
I actually said, "Hey guys, make a video about this," and they said, "Hey, yeah, that's a great idea." And that is that the architects of the comet are the preservers.
So, hey, I'm going to be on their show Sunday. Do you want to join? The only prerequisite is you have to have seen the new Flash movie, which I've already seen, but I'm taking my kids to see it tomorrow night.
I'm going to see the Flash on Friday morning.
Okay.
Did you illegally watch the Flash?
No, I did not illegally watch the Flash.
If you've already seen it, you have.
No, I get. I am a thanks to Cosmic Comics.
No, I don't want to hear it. Wow. There's no way you legally saw the Flash.
First of all, I live in Las Vegas. Second of all, CinemaCon was here. Third of all,
there's lots of people that had early access because the reviews are already starting to come out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
now I just want to start spoiling it for you because you're being so mean. So mean.
Did you sign an NDA?
Probably
no,
not.
but they had one of those signs up that were whatever. It doesn't.
Please be a good internet Denzian.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's something like how when I used to do events, and I used to have to put signs up to let people know that, like, recording in progress. We will be, but just by entering the building, you're agreeing to, allow that.
all these stipulations.
Yeah. So it was like
So you did.
stupid
So
like
you
that.
so you did agree to not talk about it. So you would be violating an NDA by.
So anyway, Sunday, I'm going to be on the podcast. If you want to join, I think Joe Cronin's going to join us also. I can.
Well, I don't know. I'll probably be tied up, but but no, I'm not bitter. I'm just saying. So I came up with this idea that they made a video about. You can check it out on their channel, and it's that the architects of this thing are the preservers. And again, I really like this throwback because they don't sit there and spoon feed it to you. They never explain that to you, but you have to put two and two together. And if you pay attention, Uhura singing to the thing, activating it, and all that, the musical notes thing fits perfectly to the obelisk they find in Paradise Syndrome, and the fact that it's musical notes that activates the obelisk, the symbols on the
from TOO Paradise Syndrome from TOS.
Paradise Syndrome from the original series.
Okay,
watch that. Watch the.
These are the kind of notes I need before the show. Like, I don't even remember what that episode is. I gotta look it up.
After we're done with this show right now, watch Children of the Comet, and then immediately watch Paradise Syndrome, and you realize, oh yeah, clearly it's made by the same people.
Okay. All right. Paradise Syndrome.
And the symbols are the same types of symbols, and the difference is that Spock figures out who these people are in that one. And so, and since Spock never had some up close and personal exposure to, I think it's just interesting. So the only
season 3, episode 3. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. My bad.
It's the one where Kirk got married.
What?
Yeah, Kirk is legally married in that episode.
Okay, I'm definitely
to
pulling this
Miramani.
up. All right, hold on.
Kirk's legal status is widower.
Oh, the
Pocahontas
yeah. Thank you.
Indigenous
thank
person.
you. Thank you. Yes,
whatever you're
thank you.
supposed to say.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Next up, Ghosts of Illyria.
Now, there's a big giant Easter egg for any Canadian that's, in their 40s or older, because they probably went to this place almost without a doubt. And that entire Illyrian colony, that whole thing is filmed in downtown Toronto on the waterfront at an old amusement park place called Ontario Place.
Now, this is the one.
This is the one with the virus spread by light.
But isn't this the one where we find out that she's
an augment?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Is that this episode?
That's this one, yeah. And the Illyrians as a whole are all basically bioengineered.
Yeah.
Right.
And that the folks on the planet accidentally turned themselves into plasma ghosts.
But not evil plasma ghosts.
No.
So, again, dude, this is what, episode 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you seen a sci-fi show with as solid first 3 episodes as these?
This is what I'm talking about. This is why it feels like Star Trek. These are Star Trek type mysteries that aren't necessarily all pew pew shoot 'em up. There are some pew pew shoot 'em up episodes, but that's how all the way back to the original series. You had your episodes where the ending of the episode was just, oh wow, that's cool. Wow. And then there are episodes where the climax is fire all phasers.
Sorry, somebody, I can't. My mother, really? You like Judas? What the heck, man? Where's your loyalty at, Mom? Yeah, the heck.
She has none. That's all.
The heck, Mom. Whatever.
Yeah. So I really appreciate the fact that in our first 3 episodes, we so far do not have a shoot 'em up episode, right?
Well, we don't. When do we?
Number 4 is our first shoot 'em up episode.
Hold
Yeah.
up. Which episode's number?
Memento
Memento
That's when-
Mori.
Yeah, that's the.
That's our
Gorn.
first Gorn episode.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, which so let's talk about the Gorn. That's the sore spot for a lot of people.
Dude, the Gorn are not freaking aliens with the what are they called? The chest.
Hold on.
Oh, hold on. That's
facehuggers
the
with
wait though. That's the crashed ship episode. That's later on. That's where they unfortunately decided that what's his name? The Hammer needed to go.
No, which
make
was
the
terrible.
story work.
Like I
That was a
actually.
bad. You know what's actually
that
really
was-
funny? You want to draw a comparison? They pulled a Hammer. So you know what we're gonna call what
hold on.
Terry did? He pulled a Hammer.
No, here's the funny thing. I am so sick of people being so butthurt over the Gorn, and I'll tell you why.
What do you mean butthurt? No, it's just like first of all,
No. Let me finish my statement. Because I know there's some people out there in this audience right now that are among those people. They're all, hey, you ruined the Gorn. You ruined the Gorn. They butchered the Gorn. The Gorn. That's what the podcast. Oh, they butchered the Gorn. I can't believe what they did to the Gorn. Okay, this is what you are freaking defending. Fred Flintstone in a rubber suit. That's what you're defending. You're suggesting.
First of all,
no. This is the only canonical appearance of the Gorn in the original series. All right. And then we saw them in the animated series. They looked exactly the same. And then we saw the insanely bad looking Gorn in Enterprise, which I'm sorry. The Gorn
first of all,
in Strange
that's
New
not
Worlds was 100 times better than Enterprise.
That's not exactly fair. I mean, like,
No,
sure, it looked more like a
100% fair.
It looked more like a Velociraptor, in Enterprise. But it's a weird time in
This is what they're
CGI.
defending. This is what they're saying the Gorn should be.
Are they though? Is that what they're? No, I think what so where I have the issue is they basically turn them into aliens. Like don't that right? Like that's what killed Hemmer. They planted like a bunch of
Let me ask
Gorn
you this.
eggs inside a
Based
Hemmer
on-
that we're gonna
On this episode, based on Arena, okay, and you can watch Arena 100 times, and don't get me wrong, I don't think Arena's a bad episode. I think it's a really good episode of the original series, and it's a lot deeper than a lot of people give it credit for, because at the end, we find out that Kirk was wrong, right? And that was kind of the whole point, was that Kirk was in the wrong the whole time by chasing after him. But if you watch Arena, you can watch it a million times.
Stan, I agree.
Hold on.
100% agree.
And guess what? Guess what? You're never going to find out in Arena how the Gorn reproduce.
Well, now you're just being perverted. What the hell?
No,
man?
I'm being honest. What they did, look, I understand. Yes, is a derivative of Alien. Yes, I'm not saying it's not. Although it's not exactly the same, because I know people say, "Oh, it's just exactly the same as Alien." No, it's not, because
and the other thing is
it's
that
not exactly
the
the same. Or go ahead, sorry.
aliens don't lay eggs in you that hatch.
Right.
Aliens lay eggs, and then they put a sperm in you that hops out of you and gets in the. And it's just
So and there is one thing that everybody and it is definitely a thing that there are a lot of people that got crusty about that particular episode, which is which one was that?
Was that word you said? Did you say crusty?
Yeah, crusty.
That's a good word. I like that. I haven't. I don't think I've. Yeah.
You've never heard Krusty before?
I mean, Krusty the Clown, but not in the context he just used it. No, so that was cool.
So all those who wander, the penultimate episode, they got super crusty about the way the Gorn were shown. Well, there's one giant thing that people aren't taking.
That
into
was the
consideration.
Predator episode, right? The Alien Predator mashup episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seemingly, yeah.
Here you go.
But
there you go. There's the
Yeah, exactly. It looks like
Hey, you can't get mad. Wait, look. Like, you really gonna get mad at Enterprise? That's like circa 2002
Yeah, I
CGI trying to redo a rubber suit. I mean, they whatever. It's like
So it goes like this. We've never seen a full-grown adult Gorn. For all we know, they end up sort of looking like rubber face anyway, or at the least they stop moving so damn
we've only
fast
seen
when they
baby
get
Gorn.
all grown up. We've only seen adolescent Gorn at the most.
Right.
So and again,
So
this is another
Gorn,
reason
remember,
why it's so much
is the-
easier to just say.
I like that name, Krusty Trekker. We should, TM that.
So keep in mind, remember, this Gorn that we see has just hatched.
Oh yeah, he's only been
Now-
alive for what, 24 hours, 48 hours?
Now
Yeah.
look at the facial structure, and it's similar. Okay, that could be an infant version of the same creature.
He hasn't dirty bulked yet. He hasn't eaten all the
Hey.
the critters around.
Do you guys know T. Stoney?
We do.
I don't think I've
Yeah,
seen this
I'm
name before.
No, T Stone.
T's been around.
Okay, I like this. Strange New Worlds shows that all the CGI in the world won't save astacular
here's-
writing. I
love
like
you
that
put
word.
No.
I like that word, astacular.
You're going to hear Krusty Trekker right now, too. Let me go after you right now, buddy, because I am going to. All the people that want to bitch about the bad CGI Gorn are so full of crap and they don't even realize it. Because guess what? Those Gorn ain't CGI; they're freaking puppets. They are not CGI Gorn.
Whoa, go back. In the Strange New Worlds, the ones you just showed, that's a puppet?
That is a puppet.
Throw that back up. Please.
That is
Okay,
not,
I can see that. Okay.
That is
okay.
a puppet. That is not CGI.
Okay. All right.
And in fact, here's a good.
That's a creepy looking effer. Ugh.
Let's see. Here's actually a good picture of it.
Huh.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. You found that just as I found it. I was.
Yeah.
looking
Oh
for
wow.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a lot of practical work to make those Gorn. So don't
And
give me
God
some
bless
crap
anyone.
about bad CGI, because those Gorn actually were better than people give them credit for, and they do look like adolescent creatures that could grow into the giant lizard.
No, I
men
mean,
that we see.
yeah. I wasn't a fan of the whole impregnating Hemmer, and that's how he got killed thing. That's a bummer.
Well, first of all, I get it. You didn't like the creative choice that they killed off Hemmer. Although, we find out after the fact that the plan was to kill Hemmer all along.
Well, he was, but like I said, this was I think this was a super chat of mine yesterday. Of course they killed him. He was my favorite character in the damn show. Like
I was not happy that they killed Hemmer, but that has nothing to do with the fact that I don't think that the Gorn were as horrible as everybody else makes them out to be.
Yes, Danny's just laying his anger at the Gorn because that's who
Right.
killed him.
The Gorn,
yes.
but that's like, look, first of all, Soren was a crappy villain, but I don't hate Soren because he killed Kirk. I hate Soren because he was a crappy villain.
Crappy character.
Okay. The Gorn are not crappy villains, but I don't like that they killed Hemmer.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think that people are like bitching about the Gorn without justification. They're trying to suggest, first of all, when Kirk, the worst thing you could say is that did they fudge canon when Kirk sounds like he's never encountered a Gorn, or the Federation's never encountered a Gorn before in Arena, when clearly they have encountered the Gorn based on this. Now, if this is in the same timeline, that is an issue. However, is it as much of an issue as freaking a Klingon war where Klingons had cloaking devices, and in Balance of Terror was the first time they ever had cloaking devices?
I don't know, but I am not familiar with T. Stoney, but I'm digging this dude just ragging on you. I'm loving it.
Well, hey, when the audience
you like
injects,
the show, so so you just like the tease going off on me, but
hey,
Baby Gorn would
he-
eat Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, so with Memento Mori, we actually got to see Gorn ships, and I like the fact that these ships effectively looked like nothing we've ever
But
seen in Star
this
Trek.
okay. This was the episode where we actually never saw the Gorn, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
Memento
okay.
Mori
This was a
we
really
went on
good
this
episode.
whole tirade about what the Gorn looked like, but that's in a later episode.
Yeah. That episode was really good, and I actually liked that they never showed the Gorn in that episode because I thought it was kind of like Jaws in a way.
It kept the mystery and the tension.
No, I
Yeah.
like Memento Mori a lot. I thought that was probably of the two.
I was mixing the two up in my head. I think
of the two main Gorn episodes, Memento Mori I think was the better episode.
Oh yeah.
But the because I like the fact that the Enterprise was clearly outmatched, and but they used clever tactics and everything to try.
I would actually say not just outmatched. There's an important aspect that actually leans into a classic problem with Starfleet and the Federation, and that is that hold your powder constantly.
Right. Don't fire unless we know there's
so probably would have been a little bit more equally matched if they had been way more aggressive.
Best comment of the day, Martin.
What's this?
Here today, Gorn tomorrow.
Gorn tomorrow.
That's awesome.
And T and I love you too, T. I know you think I have a pathological attitude
towards Picard.
season 3.
Well, it only comes across as pathological. I know that you're, not angry about it. But
I knew I liked this guy. He's right.
Yeah.
He's right about Picard.
I will say this, and let me take off the veneer of being, salty Trekker and all that for just a second. If all we had since Enterprise was Picard season 3 and Strange New Worlds, while I would prefer Strange New Worlds, it would be like having those arguments about whether or not you like Deep Space Nine or TNG better. That's a great argument to have.
Right.
Because even if you're sitting there saying, well, TNG sucked, you don't mean that TNG was objectively the crappiest thing ever made. You just mean that Deep Space Nine was better.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm not trying to suggest that Picard is anywhere near the level of Picard
season 3, because Picard season 1 and 2 were
that's
absolute trash.
I'm not saying Picard season 3 is anywhere near the level of Picard season 1 or 2 or Discovery. All right, I'm not suggesting that at all. And by the way, also Lower Decks. I enjoy Lower Decks. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I think Lower Decks is freaking.
I like Lower Decks thanks to you. I mean, I didn't even. You're the reason I started watching it. So,
and by the way, at the request of some people, I tried to watch Rick and Morty. Oh my god, I could. The first episode, I couldn't. No,
you have to have a certain kind of sense of humor for watching Rick and
literally
Morty.
About a kid's drunk uncle who's like borderline pedophile shows up and says, "Hey, let's go on an adventure." No,
is his uncle? I thought is it his uncle? I think it was his grandfather. I think it's his grandfather.
Or grandfather, yeah. Whatever.
His grandfather.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
You know what's beat up is I watched that.
About a difference.
Taking his relative on a freaking adventure. Yeah. That's a big red flag for a show. Okay.
Yeah. You know what makes that sound even worse when you put it that way? Is my son, my now 17-year-old son, is the one that got me into Rick and Morty, and we watched it together.
That is just the worst thing ever made.
Yeah. And the great thing is he doesn't even get the whole Back to the Future references. Like he just he's a kid that just liked the show. God bless you, Salty, and the rest of you guys.
CT and I were
hey, other guy.
Hey, other guy.
Andy.
Good to see you.
I really did enjoy Memento Mori, and that was the one that I watched just after work tonight.
Yeah,
and
Memento Mori,
it was fun.
I think that was the best Pew Pew episode of the season.
Well, I liked it because it felt like what was that one? The Romulan one, Balance of Terror. Yeah, it kind of had that vibe, didn't it? Don't you think?
In a way, it did. And the combat was very strategic. And of course, they didn't have the big difference though was that unlike Balance of Terror, they didn't win.
Yeah, they just got away.
Yeah. Escaped. And we
actually,
know
what's really funny too is when I was watching the episode today, I realized that it was the infernally bad, but I still enjoy watching it, battleship movie, and the stupid sonar buoys in the water being used to target the aliens. The way they did the business with the whole inertial tracking of the ship moving through the cloud, and they did that way more, organically. It was just like, oh yeah, well the ship is built to do that. Like,
yeah.
Full disclosure, I've never seen the Battleship movie.
Well, Battleship is some of the best, worst schlock. Oh man! Honestly,
don't watch it, and I will buy the Blu-ray just so that we can watch it as a group.
Watch it together.
Okay, yeah, because I've never seen it. It's just one of those.
It
ones
is
that,
spectacular.
Granted, the Blu-ray probably only costs like $3 nowadays.
You probably get it for free.
It's probably on Tubi for free.
Anyway, I do like that we got to see some interesting combat maneuvers. I think that we got to see exactly what Ortegas is capable of as a pilot. And when you see the ship maneuvering in the nebula, this is because I watched that episode just the other day as well. It really looks like a human is piloting the ship as you see it moving.
Yeah. Now I love that tilt maneuver, by the way.
And there's some of that if you look at the clips that I have in the little video reel that I rolled at the beginning of this live stream. I show a clip from that. And in fact, that very maneuver when she's maneuvering the Enterprise above the Gorn ship, and but you can see like the way the Enterprise is kind of rocking and moving. It feels like there's a human being controlling the ship. Not that it's not like every other iteration of Trek where the ships move perfectly smoothly and stuff, which I really liked. So next up we have in my opinion, surprisingly good hijinks episode of Spock Amok.
Oh my God! First of all,
I love this episode. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was going to absolutely hate this episode.
This is my believe for episodes that have a lot of very deliberate comedy in it. I don't know. I really actually enjoyed Elysian Kingdom, but Spock Amok had a lot of playful fun in it.
Yeah. The whole thing about I do not like hijinks. No, I do not like hijinks either, but it appears the hijinks is the only logical choice. It's like okay, I'm going to love this episode.
Yeah.
I just love the T'Pring. This might be my favorite T'Pring episode.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering it correctly, because she's just like such a kind of a smarmy smartass. You know what I mean? And it's
because she's a purebred.
Yeah.
And not only that, but her whole career is based on rehabilitating people like Sybok.
Yeah.
And so basically she's almost the opposite of Spock. And I wonder if we'll get into some of that. Like maybe the reason for that is subconsciously it's because she's engaged to Spock,
So do we know, I know we're not as hip and cool as the Popcast.
And yes, Stanley, this
screeners.
is the Mind Swap episode. Yeah, we're not hip and cool like Popcast. What about that?
No, well, my thing is she in, do we know if she's in this season?
I believe she is, yes.
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think T'Pring's going anywhere.
Okay.
Again, the things that people think violate canon that I don't, mainly in dealing with T'Pring. You'll notice, and I do think this is interesting, I think they're being very careful about this. Uhura and T'Pring have never met.
Very interesting.
And if you notice in Amok Time, Uhura sees T'Pring on the view screen and says, "Oh, she's lovely, Mr. Spock. Who is she?"
This was the first.
So I think they're carefully keeping Uhura from meeting T'Pring so that they can keep that little drop of continuity if they need to.
Yeah, I still think they should just call it a reboot. But
I
this is
agree,
the one.
but I'm just saying. I think that's they're doing that.
Yeah. So this is
Your
the
mom is officially abandoning us.
oh, bye, mom, traitor, Judas, whatever. Anyway, this is the one.
And yes,
again,
I love the punch too. I have to
What?
say, the punch when Spock in T'Pring's body punched the one dude.
yeah, the Freaky Friday shit or stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, you threw me off. Anyway, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Will they?
I
Won't they?
forgot.
Uhura and Spock. I would. Uhura and Spock. I wouldn't.
That just reminded me, if I may, before I forget it again. This was the first. This episode was the one that had the first hint of Nurse Chapel being into Spock, right? Was that this one?
No, that was the singing to the comet episode.
They had Nurse Chapel.
There was a little bit of playful flirting going on, and
Yeah, but they
Aurora
really,
even called
like-
her out about it.
But that's the first one where she actually kind of really showed she was.
Yeah, in this
Okay.
one, yeah.
Okay. I don't know,
however-
man. I really like this version of Nurse Chapel a lot.
I
Like,
don't.
You
but
don't? Wow.
No, that's
okay.
the one character I really don't like. is this
Really?
one.
Yeah, I'm very take it or leave it with her.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I'm like
Even on
I'm-
rewatch, I'm like, yeah.
Really? Okay. Well,
She
Different
doesn't
strokes.
she doesn't bother me, but I don't know. She hasn't. Either they didn't write.
Hold on. No.
What you
We
got?
got another. Okay, why be careful? We already have the Gorn. Kirk already meets Pike before Pike is fleet captain. Spock already knows about Khan via La'an. All right, so let me point a couple of things out.
Wow, that's a festival right there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm going to address this one. First of all, the
Again,
Gorn we already talked about, so I'm not going to
reboot. They should just call it a reboot.
But as far as the Gorn is concerned, Kirk only says, "I'm locked in combat with a creature apparently called a Gorn," right? The Metron's apparently called a Gorn. All that means is that Kirk doesn't know what a Gorn is. Doesn't necessarily mean the Federation has never encountered a Gorn. It also could mean that Kirk's imagining of a Gorn was not what he's seeing here. He could be thinking that what they're seeing is what a Gorn looks like, not what this guy is.
Wow,
So-
Martin.
And
That's rough,
hold on.
bro.
Let me
Sorry.
finish my little tirade here. As far as
Okay.
Kirk meeting Pike before Pike is fleet captain, that has not happened. Kirk
They only
and Pike
talk to
have
each other
not
over
met.
comms.
Keep in mind, in season 1, Kirk and Pike at the end of the season have not met. So don't
They
start
talk to each
inserting
other.
canon violations where they don't exist. my
They
friend.
did talk to each
The
other.
whole
No, they did not.
fracking show is a canon violation. They just need to call it a
Shut up
reboot.
about that. No, Kirk and Pike never met. Remember, the only time Kirk and Pike met was in an alternate.
Wow. I'm like, okay. I just got this text from my mom. Really? She left us to go watch Loki's show? Really? That's the show you left us to go watch? Wow.
Your mom, she is a traitor.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Judas. Oh my God.
Now, as far as
Ask
Spock
her where
already
her
knowing
30
about
pieces of
Khan-
silver are.
Yeah, right. I'm doing it now.
As far as Spock already knowing about Khan via La'an, just because Spock knows who Khan is doesn't mean that he recognizes Khan when they wake him up.
Well, don't forget too that and because I've really freshly watched the first several episodes,
Stanley
La'an
says
only
she just sent a huge super chat.
Oh,
Better
come
not be
on.
true.
That
That's
whoa.
true.
Oh my God, if that's true, I actually literally
Any mischief, I'm gonna.
I literally did send. You know what? I'm not kidding, dude. Jason, I literally just sent my mom where are your 30 pieces of silver, just so you know.
nice. So La'an was only talking to number one about the fact that
number
her
one is the
last
only
name
one
was
so far that they've
Noonien
talked.
Singh. Yeah. So nobody's jumping around in this season of this show saying Khan is my great grandfather. She brings it up, a tiny little bit, and then
I never forget a face.
Yeah,
Right, well,
yeah. There's.
Martin
You want to
spent time
talk
with that.
about some canon violations? There's
Right,
a guy who's
Tom
not even
recognized
on the
that.
ship.
Who wasn't even in the
I-
damn
Yeah, I would like to recognize you from what?
But you joined the crew after I left, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Good thing I happened to download the crew rosters while I was.
yeah. I saw the
Yeah,
transfer
well,
orders.
yeah.
The transfer orders were on file. Even yeah, so yeah, and see, and just as a side,
See, that's the
note,
only
this is why,
I
this
love
is
that
why
movie
I
so
bring this
much.
up.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
This is why I constantly bring this up, since it kind of really rolled over, and I love the fact that Indy did that video where he did a bit of a consistency. I like to look at what Indy did as a consistency check video, not a continuity check video, and that is the issue of continuity versus consistency.
Right.
And if you demand continuity, well, you better give up on almost everything. But as long as things, especially from the character's perspective, are maintained in a fairly consistent fashion across an entire story arc at a minimum, and hopefully an entire season, and preferably even across multiple seasons, then you should be fine with it. Because the second that you start going after continuity, well, you're going to basically cause everything to be thrown out the nearest airlock. Or is that sucked out or blown out?
Yeah.
It's going out an airlock. So,
And yet, Stanley, we've all said that they should call it a reboot. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all in agreement there.
Yeah,
I mean,
all of us
I'm
are.
not
Yeah.
I'm certainly not saying they shouldn't. Just say, yeah, Strange New Worlds is the official reboot of Trek, and move forward
So-
from.
I know you don't really do Twitter, but Professor Brainy Specs, I don't know if he's in the show or not, but man, he's roasting you on my Twitter.
yeah, he's just being minorly crusty
Well, he
about
won't
the
do
fact
it in
that
the chat now. He's just gonna
no. Well, see,
Jeez,
it's a
Professor,
known quantity.
If you're gonna listen to the show and you want to bitch about it, yeah, at least have the balls to do it in the chat.
It's a known quantity
it's cool to like get a random pop up on my phone, like
Yeah, he only put the one comment. All it says is remind the salty one how canonically bad it is for his beloved TOS.
Yeah.
and the problem is that it's stuff like what we've been talking about, stuff that really isn't that bad, but people try to, okay, is it visually different? Yes, and I grant you that the visual stuff.
Well, that doesn't even bother me. The visual because it's just
because
dude,
you can't
like
do it exactly. If you use the exact same plywood sets that
no,
they had
yeah,
in the original
I mean,
series, people would not watch it, and that's unfortunately the fact.
Okay.
It's great for nostalgia.
Hold up,
episode, but it's
there's a
not gonna
difference,
work.
if I may. Okay, there's a difference. The way Strange New Worlds does the Enterprise versus the way J.J. Abrams does
J.J.
the
Abrams
Enterprise.
is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah.
like people can't bitch. Sure, it looks different in Strange New Worlds, but that's because we're like 60 years in the future, man.
But
Like
the thing about Strange New Worlds is that you take one glance at the Enterprise and it looks like
it looks like the Enterprise. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't.
The J.J. Abrams looks like
Star Trek. No, it looks like the Enterprise.
yes,
The
but
bridge
in
of the
J.J.
Enterprise
Abrams, it
looks
looks
like
like you're at a Mac store or something. It's like,
You know what it looks like? It looks like the ship is the love child from like Big Hero 6 from Disney, like the Michelin Man. I don't know.
wow.
Yeah.
So hey, I got nothing better to do with my life, so I'm happy to keep going. We're already overtime, but what's episode? Or we're on.
Hold on, I
Lift
gotta
us-
find this image because there is. I've seen it before,
Okay.
but I'm trying to find it right now. But if you look at the original concepts for the Enterprise bridge that they came up with back in the '60s, you can see that where they got the Strange New Worlds design. It's based very much like on the original '60s concepts. And
Are you showing us something?
no, I'm trying to find it. But
Anthony Mark, I don't know how long ago you made that comment because I have had my tab closed, but clearly I am a cat person as well. So
He just made it just a couple minutes ago.
all right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got all the chats is open so I can see all the timestamps. I'm flexing all the monitors. But I don't have as many as you guys, but I'm definitely flexing them as hard as I
they're
can.
Canadian monitors, so each monitor is only about 78.
It's one third smaller, exactly. Yeah, because of inflation. Just to get your brain juices going, Danny. The next episode is the "Lift Us Up Where Suffering Cannot Reach."
And that's
crazy one with the kid sacrifice stuff.
That is an interesting one because that's that's a Prime Directive episode.
Yeah,
that was. I remember.
It's a rough one. It is a rough one,
dude. I remember
got a lot of people talking.
Dude, no, I remember us reviewing that one. I do. That was. Hey, and you got a super chat.
Did I?
Yes. Ba-doop.
Oh crap! Indy Tiger, thank you. It's a very good rubber suit. After all, styrofoam boulder bounced off the rubber chest. That's true, boy.
Yes. Yeah, Indy, wrong link. Go to my chat. Click on my link. That's the wrong link. Come on, I haven't made that joke in like an hour. Give me a break. Come on.
Yeah, you make that joke again, and that'll be the last time you're on this show.
It's like the Seth MacFarlane school of jokes at this point. Danny's just going to grab his knee and start wincing on the curb. 10 minutes later, there's Danny.
But the look, I do. Don't get me wrong, Andy. I'm not saying the rubber suit was what they could do at the time, and nowadays they can do the puppetry, which that level of puppetry was not even possible back then. And not only did the technology to make the puppets not exist, the technology to do the digital removal of the puppeteer didn't exist,
or the animatronics, none of that existed back in the 60s.
And so they couldn't make it look like that. And then the CG, obviously, for the baby Gorn when they were scooting around, and none of that could be done back then. What you could do, put a guy in a rubber suit, and they did the best they could with what they had.
Man, that sounded dirtier than a minute.
And the fact that the Gorn look different is I'm sorry, but you might as well just spend your time bitching about the fact that the Enterprise bridge looks different. It's
dude, I like look. Strange New Worlds does in just this nerd's opinion. Does a very, very good job of recreating a 1960s set in a way that like still looks enough like it, but not like cornball cheesy, clearly cardboard with light bright. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I think that is a beautiful set.
Yeah.
And you look at that, and that looks like the bridge of the Enterprise. Even though it's a little sleeker.
But look at the chair. They could have done like just look at the chair alone.
The chairs around the outside edge are the same freaking chairs.
Well, I mean the captain's chair. If you could zoom in, I don't know if you can.
Same basic shape.
Yeah, it's the same damn chair. It's beautiful. It's like sure. Like I don't know. People who want to bitch about that they got nothing better to do with their life.
Yes, there are differences. The console, the nav and whatever. Navigation console is curved instead of straight, stuff like that. But so what?
Anthony Mark, dude, I totally agree with you, bro. I don't know where you were like 45 minutes ago when we were talking about it, but I totally agree with you. And if you want to show me how much you agree with me, it was a joke. Okay, I stopped. I stopped myself. Damn it. God. I'm going to send you all $2 I've gotten from this.
I don't care about that.
I'm doing it right now.
No, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to shut up. Keep your $2. All right, but yeah, we're Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach though was a really brutal episode.
Dude, I mean,
dealing
come
with
on,
the
like
Prime Directive. And the fact that they knew about the Prime Directive.
it was
and they were
a
like, yeah, what are you gonna
planet.
do?
Wasn't it like that's the one with like a child was required to fuel a planet or something like
Yeah,
that, and they had to
Basically,
like,
the suffering of one child and effectively the death of that child allowed everybody else to live in.
But it wasn't just the
amazing.
death; it was like they
Agonizing stuff because it sounds
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God,
you
it
know,
was that was
they
brutal.
didn't-
Yeah.
They didn't spend a lot, and people got mad because they didn't spend a lot of time explaining the mechanics of it. But it's like in TOS, they almost never explain the
Who
mechanics.
cares?
But
They
Yeah.
showed
The
the
idea
kid
sounds
like looked like a dried up raisin. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
It sounds like it sounds like the system uses the kid's brain in much the way of Spock's brain. It uses the kid's brain to run all the systems on the planet. And but it dries up and sucks the juices out of the kid over the course of a year.
Oh,
And so they
God.
need a fresh kid every year to do it. And it's brutal and cruel. But this whole society was built around the idea of sacrificing a child every year.
Yeah.
And since they are outside of the scope of the Federation, there's not a dang thing Pike can do about it legally.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, you got to. How did that one end? Please, it's been so long since I've seen it.
it ended
There
with
was
Pike
something.
literally struggling, trying to fight them to get rescue the child, and he loses.
And yeah, man, damn, yeah. No, that was a
The
brutal.
kid ends
episode.
up dying,
Yeah.
and
then he get in trouble because it was a violation of the Prime Directive or something like that.
I don't think
It
he
was-
actually got in trouble, but he basically at the end he was like, you know what, you're going to think twice about this when I come back with Starfleet on my back. And she's like, oh, when's that going to happen?
Yeah,
Because we're not part of the Federation. Have a nice day.
yeah. And he was like, didn't he bang her, or he was about to
Yeah, he
bang her,
did.
or something?
No,
yeah, he
they
did.
were
Very much hooking up.
They,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
banged in
okay,
the past, and they banged again in this episode.
Okay, yeah.
And
Damn, oh man, this was probably, arguably, the best episode like of that season. Like if I, thinking of now, I kind of want to watch this tonight. I think I'm going to watch this.
Yeah,
After the
it's
show.
another one of those episodes that it's a thought-provoking episode.
Yeah.
and it's brutal. And this season, this first season of Strange New Worlds, that's one thing I really appreciate, that they didn't just throw a bunch of pew-pews out there. They actually
Or
did-
really simple moral stories either. It
Right.
was-
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you just simply remove the kid from the machine, guess what? This is not a habitable planet, and these machines are necessary for this entire society to survive.
Damn.
And so, if
I gotta
you
wait.
don't
I gotta wait
sacrifice-
7 hours to watch the season premiere. You guys are killing me.
Yeah. Well, remember though, first you got to watch Children of the Comet, followed by Paradise Syndrome.
Do that while you're waiting.
I actually want to watch Lift Us. Like I kind of want to watch this one we're talking about now too.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna-
I'll kill some time.
Now then
Yeah,
we get
I'll
to
probably-
what is in my least favorite episode of the season.
Oh, you don't like Squall?
Well, Ethan Peck's favorite episode of the season, yeah, the Serene Squall. I just the villain in this never worked for me. She just or they or whatever.
No, this was the
but
worst.
This was the episode.
This was the worst episode, hands down. You're talking about
Yes.
the one with the
with the weird
the
non-binary-
person.
yeah, worst episode, hands down. Like,
Oh
And-
yeah, if I was going to pick the worst episode, that's the worst episode.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
get me wrong. I'm not
surprisingly.
saying it's a bad episode. It's just the weakest.
and like, look,
Yeah.
this is the episode before the fantasy episode that was equally freaking terrible. But the chick that was the villain in this episode was just so bad. An actor, I guess not a chick, a person was just such a bad actor. It just was not. It didn't work for
Yeah,
me.
because
No,
she
it
literally
wasn't
went to, I am bad now. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
no, I did not care for it at all. I thought
Yeah.
that Serene Squall, I would say if you're going to watch season 1 on your own, you can totally skip episode.
I can't believe it's rated higher Well, I mean, the next episode is really bad, but
I actually no. You know what? I actually
thought this one was
enjoyed
worse.
the Elysian Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah,
That's where Pike is a little like fairy jester. That episode.
Yeah, but I love the fact that they made everybody play an off character from who they really were.
Right.
That's what stuck for me.
the only
Because
the only person
and the
that
best-
was himself was the Doctor.
the part I loved
yeah.
the most was actually when Hemmer kind of leaned all the way in and just played the character up to the max. Because remember, he actually was aware of what was going on.
storytelling wise, the only thing I actually liked about the episode was we handled the situation with Mbenga's daughter. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Because that
They
had
did
to be.
introduce someone with Manga's daughter, and I think
Yeah.
that the bringing her into the show was a mistake, and having that resolved through the cloud thing was as good a resolution as you could do.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know what they're going to do with season 2 if they bring her back or anything. I
See,
hope
look at
not.
this. Anthony Mark agrees with me. It's his least favorite episode as well. Mine too.
Yeah. What's funny is, according to IMDb, the
I know.
fantasy episode Elysian Kingdom is considered the weakest episode.
I know. Isn't that
It's
nuts?
very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
And like Elysium, look, I would probably put it at second to the bottom for me, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a little bit more than Serene Squall, probably because of the fact that at least everybody delivered a good performance.
I'm gonna have to go back and
Yeah.
check, man. I'm pretty sure, like, because I don't know, I can't say with 100% certainty. I'm gonna have to go back and look at our reviews. I'm pretty sure Serene Squall got like my lowest rating, or it might have tied with like these two episodes were like it was a bummer because they were like right in the middle of the season, and they were the two weakest episodes.
And I watched the episode before I watched you guys do the live stream for that episode, and I basically predicted that you guys were not going to be super fans of that particular episode. I had fun watching it, so for me it was, in a way, it was almost like the Naked Now of episodes, in that no one was drunk on a weird drunk disease, but but everyone was weird, but in a very fun way, and because everybody could still freaking act and could deliver the character that they were playing.
Right. And I think
For me,
that's what
it
saved the
just
episode
worked.
is that everybody that delivered their, like, the actors clearly had fun with it, and they
That's
clearly
that's a good question. So if you look in the chat, because I think I asked you this, Mike, last year when we were reviewing it. I forget the guy's name, the older white grumpy.
Dr. Boyce.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Alex, that this show takes place at least 3 years after the Cage, so Dr. Boyce could be retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
'cause
I
this
keep
is
that
after-
keeps
Yeah.
messing with me. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
that this is after.
Yeah, people keep
in
confusing the menagerie with the Cage.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
keep in mind
So-
also that if you listen carefully, and this is something that a good rewatch is worth 1,000 reviews. Rewatch episode 1, and you'll notice one of the things that Pike talks about when he first comes onto the Enterprise is a new chief medical officer.
I can't wait to see them introduce.
And so, and of course, what happens when he goes to see Dr. Mbanga? They act like they haven't seen each other in forever and give each other a big hug. And so it sounds like Dr. Boyce just left and Mbanga was just assigned.
Yeah.
yeah. So hey, again,
No, I don't
can't-
think we're going to see Dr. Boyce.
I can't highlight comments, but hey, JP, buddy. Hey, buddy. You see
What?
that comment there
Yeah.
by Mr. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I already lolled at him there from your chat. See, I'm everywhere. I'm plugged into all the things. But I'll tell you what, you want to talk about the biggest dose of copium? That's anyone in Toronto who holds that the frickin' Leafs are ever going to win anything again.
Well, the sad thing is all the good Canadian hockey players are playing in the United States.
Yeah, that's
where that's where the bread is, baby.
As a side note, that's why everyone shudders when the when the pros get to go play in the Olympic hockey games, because it's just like, yeah, here's the medal. Have a nice day.
But, you know, here's the funny thing is Canada can just claim that they've had the Stanley Cup every freaking year because every team is led by Canadians. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so next is Danny's favorite episode, All Those Who Wander. And, of course, you love this episode because they finally killed off your least favorite character, Hemmer.
Yeah. I know it's such a frustration.
Look, it's actually
you could see it telegraphed so early on in the.
No, anytime I love a character, it's death sentence.
Yeah.
1, 2. It's not my least favorite episode. It's only my third least favorite episode. But I mean, it doesn't mean I didn't like it. I just didn't like that they killed Hemmer.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually think, aside from Hemmer's death, I think that the episode itself was constructed fairly well. Yes, are the Gorns, 100% original with their concepts? No, but I do think they make the Gorn very creepy and
dude,
something that
come
you
on,
not want to mess with.
You got it. Okay, yes, but come on, dude. It wasn't. It's like, have you seen that clip from The Flash where Bruce Wayne is saying to Barry Allen, so nobody ever thought to tell, hey, Superman, you don't think that's a bit on the nose, being called Superman? Like this was so on the nose. It was blatant. They took the little clickety clackities from Predator, and in the Alien, like it was just such a blatant ripoff. Like derivative doesn't even, like, that's not even the right word.
That's derivative because if it was that they were, first of all, they're not xenomorphs, and they're not the Predators. They are,
but dude, like, come on.
They have certain aspects that are similar to both. Right?
They had,
but you know what? You could also argue that they stole all that stuff from things that are actually in nature. So what?
Give me one example.
The chameleon.
Martin. No, I don't want any candy.
Quebec Modex. Man, it's a good thing that Alexander is not here. He'd have a fit.
Yeah. Where
is somebody made a comment earlier that she got somebody else to truffle their shuffle. What happened to where's Ariel?
I can't remember the name of the breed, but there are spiders that lay eggs on other creatures, and when they hatch, they eat the creature.
Ooh, there's wasps. There's wasps that embed their there's all kinds of creepy stuff out there.
And there are creatures that will fight each other for dominance once they're born, which is what the Gorn do. They are, there's nothing here that's all that. The only thing that you could argue is something that's not found in nature is the fact that they can't really stand for them, but that's not in Predator either.
Well, is this true? It's been since 1967, Jason? Is that true?
The Leafs, the Leafs haven't won the cup since frickin' forever.
Wow. Man, sucks to be you guys. Anyway.
Sorry. Well, we do have the Habs, and they have won more recently, but yeah, the Leafs haven't won since 67.
Shit, that's when.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, like I say, like for
all the maple syrup.
Yeah. Yeah, Leafs Stadium's got a secret reservoir of syrup sitting underneath it. But so what was I'm lost here for a second. I was kind of jumping around between things. What were we talking about?
We're talking
Predators
about
and aliens.
All those who wander.
Yeah, all those wander. Yeah. Well, that's the Gorn.
Yeah, but you were saying something about
basically the only thing the Gorn do that you can't find an example of in nature is being able to hide from sensors.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was kind of kooky. And the seeing in infrared, I'm fine with. And
that was very Predator. That was very Predator. But
the way it was presented was very Predator. Yes.
Yeah.
So how did they explain? Because it's been a minute. Because I actually haven't rewatched that. I think I watched that episode.
I don't think that Spock does meet Khan until the dinner in Space Seed. I think you are correct.
Okay, so back to the question I was about to ask.
Obviously, India is like an hour behind. Yes, I think
How did they give any kind of logical explanation as to how the Gorn were able to like not be picked up on sensors? Like I don't remember because
they said that it had to do with the way they were evolved to be hunters.
Yeah, something
but
kind of schlocky. I wasn't a big fan of
look,
that. That was the only
And if you're
thing
going to bitch about that, then you should bitch about every episode of Voyager.
Dude, I'm not bitching.
I know, but I'm just saying that's how Star Trek deals with evolution. They say everything is evolution, so which is stupid, I know, but that's just how Star Trek and evolution are I hate
so, guys, before this shiner of mine is gone, don't forget for
$20
the
super
low
chat.
price of a $20 super chat to my man Michael up here, I'll take the glasses off and show it to you. if you want to see what a fiery hot Latina can do to a chubby white boy, just pony up the dough.
So I would say this. I think that the death of Hammer was unfortunate, but it was not. I didn't think his death was a horrible death. I know you did, but I didn't think his death.
Well, no, hold up. What didn't make sense to me is they established. Hold up. No. I'm going to freak out on this. First of all, Hemmer is from he's an Anar, so we already know he can survive and thrives and was raised in below freezing temperatures. And what kills the Gorn? Freezing temperatures.
Well,
They
actually established that.
So he goes out into the cold and just dives off the side of a cliff or whatever, instead of just maybe I should just kick it out here for a few minutes and see if the cold kills him, because it ain't gonna hurt me none. I don't know.
So you obviously weren't listening because you were so upset, which I understand. You get emotional.
Yeah.
They did not. The Gorn don't die from the cold; they go dormant.
Okay.
And so as soon as he gets back in the warmth, they hatch.
Oh.
And
so he still basically kills himself, though.
Not necessarily. We don't know. All we know is that he falls off the back of the ship.
My mom, you're right. My mom is still Team Hemmer's
alive on that planet.
Yeah, that's what my mom thinks. My mom also thinks that.
I think that Hemmer will make an appearance at some point in the future.
God, I hope so. That'd be so dope. That'd be like,
yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be like the equivalent of Stone Cold Steve Austin showing up at last year's WrestleMania. The pop would just blow the roof off. Like people would love it.
No, I loved Hammer. I think he was the great crusty. He
was such a good character. He was my favorite, easily my favorite character. Man.
Yeah, I thought he was a lot of fun. I mean, just the first time we saw him, and he was like, "Can I help you?" No. I was like, "Okay, I love him. I love him."
Look, for me, the way he was able to just slam that knife into the cutting board, it was just like, all right.
Well, I also like the whole thing with him and Spock. I really did love Hemmer as a character a lot. Like, it was a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Because I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I liked him. I also liked his definition of pacifism.
Yes, I did. Yes.
And so and so I really did. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Yes, they're not Hammer. Hammer.
Yeah, that's a different franchise. Hammer.
I bet I love that show. Trust me.
And the Hammer is my. Never mind. Sorry. Never mind. You don't get the reference? No.
You just know how to ruin everything. You just
Nathan Fillion. Come on. And you know what the Hammer is, right? The Hammer is what? Okay, I'll let that simmer. That's fine. Somebody in the chat can fill him in.
I'm actually, when you said Nathan Fillion, now I'm completely lost. I totally don't.
He was in that musical with Doogie Howser. The hammer is his penis was the joke.
I never saw that. That's why.
Okay.
I knew where it was going, but I didn't know why I should know it. But I haven't actually.
Dr. Horrible's Sing Along or something like that. I think it was called.
Yeah. But yeah,
Looks
I mean,
like,
it was an awful letdown to see both a good actor come off the show.
And they did it
potentially.
in the penultimate episode.
I
It's
know
like,
it was sucked. But it was still, for me, I still really enjoyed the episode.
Now,
And
the
it's
next
actually,
episode, sorry.
just as a note, it actually scores quite high on IMDb, by the way.
I thought it was a good
8.2
episode.
out of 10.
Yeah,
I actually really thought it was a solid episode. I just, I wish they had not offed Hemmer, but aside from that, I thought it was a really solid.
No, and I agree, but I will say they did
a good job with the haunted house thing with the interior sets of the ship.
Yeah.
The overall it was just very well done.
The finale though, I've watched this go
We're going
ahead.
to get
Sorry.
to that just first. Strange New Worlds with canon consistent will be reduced to only telling news stories about aliens who have not met the volume of canon. Trek makes writing episodes difficult.
Yes.
I disagree, but I understand the point. But yeah, you can't really do Romulans because they haven't been seen. You can't, the Klingons have been done to death. And I think their choice of bringing in the Gorn was a good choice.
Yeah, they needed
Because
to
the Gorn has
pull
not been explored.
Yeah.
So
I think
sorry.
actually, both cities actually have a CFL team though. That's what's really funny. They needed to pull in somebody as a villain and not end up turning it into the Ferengi like season 1 TNG.
Okay.
Right, so this question is the easy one. I have said it before and I will stand by it. I think Strange New World season 1 is the strongest season 1 of any Trek show, period.
I think we all agree. I think we all said this earlier. Yes, we all agree. Yes.
And so,
is it better than Enterprise season 4 though? That's the part I want to talk about because I love Enterprise.
4,
yeah.
I mean, that's not fair because Enterprise season 4 at that point was a developed show.
Yeah.
And
it had way more episodes, like twice as many
and
at
so,
least.
I think a fair comparison would be like, is this a better show when we're 4 seasons in?
Damn, Stace, I didn't know you were still here. Thanks for sticking around so long. We've gone way over. So
when we're 4 seasons deep, then we'll talk about comparing it to Enterprise and stuff as a show.
Yeah.
But right now, all we can do is say it had a really good first season.
Yeah. And dude.
Yes.
And so speaking of which, let's talk about that season finale, A Quality of Mercy.
This is my favorite episode of Strange New Worlds. And I know people like Kadish had problems with it, whatever. It was it was the retread of Balance of Terror. It was
That's not why I had a problem with it.
Okay, well, go ahead. I'll let you go.
I actually liked the concept a lot.
Uh-huh.
I thought the concept was brilliant. And I actually really like the fact, and it's true if you look at the overall history of Trek, that the central figure of Trek that would ruin the universe if you took him out was Spock. Because that is 100% true.
Just because over the years of how integral he became, I mean, like
that's what I'm saying. Though.
Yeah,
he was key in so many different things in both the original and next generation eras. That if you took him out of the picture, it ruins everything. You can't have a good Star Trek history without.
Yeah, and in the whole like, oh my God, I'm trying not to tear up thinking about it.
I thought that was a stroke of genius. What I didn't like was that it should have been a 2-hour finale because it felt rushed. It felt like they were really just trying to get through it because they had so much to cover. And I wanted more. I wanted a whole lot more of the time that was the actual episode Balance of Terror instead of to try and do like the 15-minute version of Balance of Terror so that we could bookend it with the time travel stuff at the beginning and the war at the end.
Look, I'm always going to want more of a good thing. So I'm going to agree.
I don't think they spent enough time developing this.
Dude, no, that scene where Pike where he's talking to Spock after like when he comes back, like where Spock's not dead but Spock was dead, you know what I mean,
when he saw him on the table.
And like, oh my God, man, oh my God, it's so good, so good.
By the way, it is by far the highest rated of all 10 episodes on IMDb.
Oh, well, it makes
And
sense.
notice
It's my
I use
favorite.
I use more clips from that in my little video thing than anything else. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, the shot of the Farragut getting taken out by the Romulans is just
And
epic.
so, I do want to bring this up. I can't remember if it was you or if it was one of the other dudes, but I do remember when we reviewed this, a lot of people had issue with the maroon suit, using that as a point of contention for this is definitely a reboot. Just look at the maroon suit. The
one
Yes,
where
it's
Pike was wearing the TMP era movie.
yeah,
It's one of the
yeah.
con era.
the con era, but it was
Yeah.
like, I guess,
It was changed a little bit, just like their current uniforms are.
yeah,
Yeah.
which didn't
But
bother
it
me
still
any.
looked,
But
it still looked perfectly fine to me.
yeah. So what are your? I can't remember if it was you. It must have been somebody else then. If it wasn't you, Michael, you didn't have an issue with that.
I still
or-
maintain it's an alternate timeline based on what we
okay.
talked about at the beginning of this live stream. But I would say this is that if it's supposed to be the same timeline, it's just a visual stylistic.
Yeah, it's just like the bridge being a little bit updated because it happened.
You know what's funny is that if you
60
look
years
at
later.
if you look at the 6 original film movies, the bridge set changes in almost every single one of them, and nobody bitches about it.
Yeah.
You know, why doesn't anybody bitch about the fact that the bridge is completely different in Star Trek 6 than in Star Trek 5? Right?
Right.
Why, it's like that's not even close to the same set.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
But
Well, remember they came up with those like
people
those
are trying to do mental gymnastics to explain it.
Well, they came up with those explanations where it's basically like kits. They could just they would replace.
Yeah, but there's nothing in the show that says that. That's stuff that people just pulled out of their butts to try and come up with an explanation.
Right.
And the simple fact is that when new directors come in, like when Nicholas Meyer came in to do Star Trek 6, he wanted the bridge to look like X, which was different than when William Shatner directed Star Trek 5 and said, I don't care, just make it look cool, and so whatever,
was that supposed to be your Shatner? Because that was terrible.
I didn't say I could imitate Shatner.
Okay. Right.
But you know what I'm saying. So each director just has their own take on what the sets should look like, and they are perfectly entitled to do their take on it. It's fine. It's okay. Heck, even if you look at the Enterprise itself, people bitch about the Enterprise being different. Look at the Enterprise in the Cage versus the Enterprise in the original series. The ship is different. No
shit. Just look at the difference between where No Man Has Gone Before, which should have been the first episode, but was the third. Yeah. And then what was the first one was the Man Trap. The Man Trap.
But you know what was actually the first
even
episode?
In those, what's that?
What's actually the Corbomite maneuver.
Really?
That was the first episode. And notice in the Corbomite maneuver, Uhura is wearing yellow.
Yes.
And then they realized, her skin does not look good in yellow.
Yeah, I was about to say, red was a much better color for her skin tone. Yes, yeah.
They kept changing. But the thing is, they changed things up, and that's just the directors going, okay, let's change this. Let's make this look better. Let's try. Nobody bitched about the fact that the uniforms changed from TMP to Wrath of Khan because they look better.
Again, I don't mind. And we still have, 17, 19. We still got 19 people hanging with us and almost 3 hours deep. So that's cool. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to hit the like button or whatever. Let's finish this up because I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about our what we think's going to happen.
Right.
In season 2.
So the big elephant in the room, the thing that people bitched about more than anything else about this episode was James T. Kirk.
Oh God, yeah, but this is an alternate universe, James T. Kirk. So I could I'm holding out judgment until this season.
I'll say a couple of things about it. A, this is an alternate timeline, Kirk. So not the same.
And I did just scroll check about 15 minutes ago. He absolutely doesn't see Kirk after he flips the time gem thing and goes.
That's what I was saying. There's no canonical violation there. Now, what they could do, and I'm hoping they do this. I think it would be brilliant if they do this. Is if Robert April gives Pike a promotion in the same episode that Pike meets Kirk.
Yeah, that would be cute, just to kind of like punch it up.
Yeah.
So just based off the trailer alone, we know Kirk is in some weird. It seems like maybe a time travel episode with La'an.
Right, but La'an is on the Farragut, not on the Enterprise.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So keep in mind. Remember, Kirk. They did establish in the original series that Kirk as lieutenant was on the Farragut.
Yes. Okay.
So this is Lieutenant Kirk on the Farragut, and La'an somehow ends up on the Farragut. We don't know the details yet.
Why do they always got to do time travel, man? It looked like they were like,
it's
you know,
a Trek staple. I'm not a big fan of doing time travel all the time, but you know, hey. But yeah. So I think it would be great is if the moment that Kirk and Pike meet is at a ceremony where Pike gets a promotion of some kind.
Yeah.
You know, and call it the fleet captain or call him a commodore, whatever they're going to call him. And, you know, that I think would be really good. As far as the overall episode of Quality of Mercy, I thought it was good in that it got Pike to kind of, deal with the future.
We got to talk about the end though, man.
What part?
Which part?
With Una. The end, the very
arrest.
end.
Yeah, with the arrest and everything.
Yeah.
I suspect there's going to be some hijinks to get her out or something.
Well, clearly, I'm actually really pissed they put her in the trailer for season 2. They shouldn't have put her in it at all.
Did you see
they should have held
trailer?
that back. I
mean, they showed the full court-martial scene.
I actually have not seen that.
Yeah. It looks like they're... And actually, I got props to them. It looks like an updated version of, like, remember Court Martial, the episode with
yeah. So did they release a clip of this? I need to look this up.
Oh yeah, it's you can find it on YouTube. They ring the bell. They have everybody testifying about Una, and the big cliffhanger is that Spock says that he thinks Una was hiding something. You know.
Oh wow! It's been out for 2 weeks. I'm gonna watch it real quick.
All right, so a live reaction from Danny as he watches the clip that she should have watched 2 weeks ago. Dun, 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 dun. Are you watching it too, Jason? Or are you just don't?
I'm just talking to my sister.
What is it? Hold on. What is it with these Vulcans and their really long sideburns now? This black Vulcan had the same thing.
I don't know. That's just like what they do now, I guess.
It's just like a thematic thing that they've kind of been doing for a while.
I like the little TOS cartridge.
Yeah, see, like I said, look, it feels a lot like Court Martial.
Judge Advocate General, that's funny.
So, as we're waiting for Danny to finish watching the clip, riveting viewing, I know.
Sorry, you can.
It's okay. Go ahead. You're not
one of the other things is they've got number one sitting at a console too in part of it. So
we know she's going to get off. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This is Star Trek, not Battlestar Galactica, where people actually die or have consequences. You know.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I mean, the fact that Una's going to get out doesn't bother me because, I mean,
yeah, it's like
it's just how good is the drama going to be? You know,
yeah,
that's all I care about.
Spock.
So you got to that part of the clip.
Freaking Judas.
What do you expect him to lie? He's a Vulcan.
What the? Well, that's the end of it. Okay, so I guess Spock's throwing her under the bus. What the heck, man? Like,
Spock is Spock. He's not going to lie.
Whatever. Vulcans exaggerate. I don't want to get anyway. Wow.
Do you really? What do you? So you want Spock to lie? That's what you.
No, want. I didn't say that. I just was. I did not expect
you didn't
everybody else.
That.
Everybody else says no, and he says yes. That she was like, I did get the feeling she was hiding something. Whenever, like, come on, what the heck, man? So, hey, I'm glad. Thank you. I didn't see that clip. I've been, I guess, not on top of it like I should be, but that's yeah. Damn. Dude, I'm looking forward. Do you think that's going to be in the first episode? Do you think that's going to be in tonight's episode?
My understanding is it's going to be episode 2.
Damn. Okay.
And so that's so let's go ahead and get. So the first episode is called the one that's airing tonight. Is called the Broken Circle.
How do you break a circle?
Well, you could hit it with a hammer. Hey, hammer's back.
All right, let me look this.
I got it figured out.
Called
Is
a
it
broken
a theory?
Broken circle.
A film theory?
Yeah. I don't know.
Broken.
If
I don't see anything on it.
Description for it.
Yeah. Where are you seeing this at? Because it's not on IMDb.
It's on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Okay.
Yeah. There is a full page for Strange New World season 2.
All right. Let's see.
The one I'm really looking forward to is episode 7. These Old Scientists. TOS. I love that.
Okay, I can't. I'm seeing potential spoilers, so I'm not looking anymore. I Google searched the Strange New World season 2.
Do you want the link to the actual list that I'm looking at?
Yeah, if you want to throw it to me, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Now I didn't scroll down and read everything that's in there, but let's see.
What the hell is this weird long number? Okay.
That weird long number is your tracking number.
Oh. Okay.
Remember
for what? Like UPS or something? Track. Okay, FedEx. Got it. All right.
No, it's USPS.
Well, it said FedEx, but okay, maybe not. Let me do that. Hey, it's supposed to be here today by 6, but it did not come in today's mail, so that's weird.
It says moving through network.
Through network. Yeah.
No, but if it's package, it might come.
Yeah, because it is
later.
packed on ice, so it might be delivered as a special delivery.
Oh, okay.
And it is only coming up on 6 right now.
6 is in 10 minutes, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right,
You
I
gotta
got
call
your
your
link
post
here.
office and say, "Where the heck's my package?"
Yeah.
Only don't you say heck.
All right, what do we got here?
All right, so the Broken Circle. I didn't see any kind of official description of the episode.
God, it's written by Akiva Goldsman, so that's a little.
So.
Well, keep in mind
what was your favorite episode?
A lot of what we've just watched.
Yeah,
and
the season finale was also written by Akiva Goldsman.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's nothing really
and in fact,
says anything. There's no synopsis or nothing. You know,
because if you look at the writing team of Henry Alonso and Akiva Goldsman, that is the same team that wrote A Quality of Mercy. Henry Alonso and Akiva Goldsman. If you look at the full series,
there's not even like a blurb about what the first episode's about.
No,
here.
I can't find anything. But if I was to, if I was to, hazard a guess, we go from, since A Quality of Mercy and A Broken Circle written by the same people, that somehow they're going to be related. Either with the time crystal thing, the alternate timeline thing, maybe there's another alternate future that comes up or something. Or maybe we will get the Una trial because they set up the cliffhanger. So
I kind of hope they address the Una, especially after watching that clip I just watched. I'd love. I hope that's in the premiere. But
and the funnier thing, just as a side note, Akiva wrote was a part writer on all the episodes of Picard.
Yeah, so suck on that, Mr. I Hate Akiva.
Whoa. Picard season 3?
It's Picard, period.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
all
Picard seasons 1 and 2 were dumpster
3.
Fires. So that's
3.
fine.
Oh,
but we already know that Terry Matalas really
had a stronger hand on it.
Yeah.
But just because Terry Matalas was the showrunner doesn't mean that Akiva didn't write it.
Man, I'm not Michael, I love you, man. I don't want to argue.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
shut up.
No.
Fine.
Now the funny thing is, though, is just
so-
and yet again, just to poke the Akiva bear for a minute. He did write a decent number of movies that weren't terrible. They're certainly not blockbusters, but they're not terrible. So he can write when he wants to.
Right. And A Quality of Mercy, while I did think it was rushed, was a decent episode.
So I find this interesting. Henry Alonzo Myers, he does the first episode, according to the link you sent me, he does the first episode, the 5th episode, and the 10th episode. And that's it.
Who?
Henry Alonzo Myers, the writer. He
Okay.
we were just talking about.
Yeah, so
he only does. No, I find that interesting. He bookends it and he does the middle one. So I wonder if he's kind of the over, did he come up with this season story arc? I'm just
it's hard to say because
noticing here.
They have a team. I mean, because
Yeah.
if you look, Davy Perez comes up a couple of times through the season. Dana Hogan comes up a couple of times through the season. All of their names pop up on multiple episodes, and so
his has the most, and it happens to be 1, 5, and 10. I'm just saying,
right.
I don't.
But I'm saying I think Henry and Akiva, obviously they wrote the season finale and the season premiere, and then Henry looks like he wrote the beginning, middle, and end of this season, and he probably worked closely with who's the showrunner on this show?
What do we know about this guy? Can somebody help me here?
I don't know.
Henry Alonzo Myers. What else has he done? Do we know? Other than Strange New
A
Worlds?
lot of porn, I think. I don't know.
Well, it helps my celibacy beard, so that's fine.
Let's see. Henry Alonzo Myers. Strange New Worlds, Ugly Betty, Daybreak, COVID Affairs, Magician.
Dude, I love
CSI.
Anthony's comment. Do you see this? He said Pike should have told that woman, "I won't be cooking breakfast for you again."
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you've seen from the trailers or that you know about this season that you're particularly looking forward to besides the trial?
No, man. I've been purposely kind of avoiding.
So you don't know about the
stuff.
Strange New Worlds thing, or I mean the Lower Decks thing, or anything?
Well, that I know about because you and I talked about it.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. So all I know is the crossover, which who knows when that's going to happen, and then this trial scene.
That's why I said episode 7.
Is it? Okay.
That's why it's called Those Old Scientists.
Scientists.
Get it?
Oh, and that's directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Those old scientists.
Yeah. That's clever.
And that's actually a phrase from Lower Decks. They actually called them Those Old Scientists.
Right on. No, I'm looking forward to that. I tell you what, man, I really like what's her name? Ortega's?
Yeah, I know
Ortega's.
Ortega's.
She's the only character that didn't get a whole episode.
She didn't get it. Yeah, she didn't get it. I remember us talking about that. She didn't get her episode last season. So I'm actually I want to know about her backstory because I'm confused.
I just like her. That's.
Am I supposed to be attracted to her? Am I not supposed to be attracted to her? Is she a lesbian? Is she straight? Does it matter? Is she pansexual? I don't know.
Is or isn't. You can still be attracted to her.
Well,
would she be attracted to you? Is the only question.
I kind of like her attitude, man. And there's got to be something with her and Pike. Because the way they talk, the way they interact.
They obviously know each other very well.
Yes, yeah. And I want more of that. I want that backstory, and I hope we get that.
And that's, by the way, something that I want to say, because this is something that I know a lot of hardcore fans have been bitching about, and that I'm going to defend right here, is Pike's familiarity with the crew. That he's not he doesn't have the professional separation like Picard, and he doesn't come across as the impenetrable, perfect captain like Kirk. That he is.
I'm sorry, I love Pike.
He is the familial father figure to the crew.
Yeah,
and now.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. I'd say more like an older brother.
No, his goal, with Kirk, I've said this before. Like Kirk is the soldier, right? Kirk is the captain that I would follow into the gates of hell and be confident that I'm going to make it back out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he's going to have a plan A through Z.
Yeah.
Right. Kirk is the military man, right? Picard is the scholar, the diplomat, the negotiator, right?
Yeah.
Cisco is the planner, right? Cisco is the one who you actually want to consult with Kirk before Kirk storms the gates of hell, right? Because Cisco is going to come up with a battle plan and he's going to feed it to Kirk, and then Kirk's going to be able to improvise that battle plan to make it work.
Before you give me your take on Pike, let me just say this. But Pike's a fracking man.
He is.
Yeah. I like Pike. Right. I like Pike a lot.
Yeah.
This iteration of Pike, rather.
Right.
Yes.
You have Archer is the explorer. Archer just he went through he started out, but no, he still wants to be the explorer. I'm talking about in his heart. I'm not talking about, yes, the Xindi War changed him a little bit and all that, but that's at the core of his character.
Dude, he tortured people. He stole a warp core from. He went through a lot of changes, man.
Right, but I'm just saying at the core of his character, he's the explorer. He's the guy that wants to go out there and seek out new life and new civilizations. That's his number one thing. And Janeway is the mother. She is the protector of her crew.
Yeah.
And
at all costs, she'll basically do almost anything.
Right. And then you have Pike, who
Prime
is
Directive
the
be
father.
damned.
Then Pike's job is to develop and nurture the people under him. And if you look at his crew, look at what he's got. He's got a bunch of people that he's working on, like Uhura and stuff, that he's like trying to make into these great people that they're going to be. He's got a young developing crew that he purposely is trying to make into the best crew that will ever exist.
I guess I can see that. I mean, I felt.
And I think that's cool that he's different than all the other captains, and yet he stands as a strong captain, but not a perfect captain. And that's where I think that last episode of last season was so good, is they showed that if he was in command during the Balance of Terror incident, bad things would have been.
Yeah, in that, I really liked that a lot, because they weren't necessarily saying like one captain was better or worse than the other. It was like an ideology.
But the right person at the right time.
That yes, but Kirk is always like, he's the I'll jump first, or whatever. What's the fucking fracking phrase?
Well, Kirk would have been. What do you mean when the walls
shoot
fell?
first, ask questions later?
Yeah. Thank you. Shoot first, ask questions later kind of guy. Where I think Pike is more like, let's get all these questions out of the way first, which might take up so much time that it's detrimental.
Right.
Which like it was in that episode.
Yeah,
and to answer your question, Mr. Stan Lee, it's $14 for 2 packs if I buy 2 at a time. So roughly $7
that's
a pack.
a waste of money, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so I do need to wrap, because my brain is getting cooked here and I'm getting myself a headache. But I got a really funny thing to show you guys.
Okay.
Because when I was flipping through stuff on IMDb, the small thumbnail of Melissa, who plays Ortegas, stood out to me, and I went and checked, and check this out. Okay, so there she is with her hair dyed.
Oh. Is that dyed, or is she a gray-haired lady?
No, she's dyed.
She's old enough to be a gray-haired lady. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
but watch this. It's almost like she's
Visitor.
Wow.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
Wow. She could be cast as a young Kira. That's
yeah.
Scary. I didn't even believe it.
Yeah. That's pretty wild, eh?
That is funny. But I think that but I really like that Pike is the developer. You know, he's the one that, and you know, his mannerisms fit that, because he's not the guy that's going to, you know, he's not going to yell at you and scream at you and whip you into shape, because he's got the people that are just out of the academy and don't know how to deal with this stuff.
He's a relaxed diplomat. He's like a chill version of Picard.
Yeah. And Pike is the kind of guy that during peacetime, I'd love to serve on Pike's ship. However, when the proverbial crap hits the fan, I'd want to be on Kirk's ship.
Yeah. So, hey, Mom, welcome back. I'm still waiting for the 30 pieces
I heard you
of silver.
gave a big old super chat to Loki. What's the deal with that?
So, right?
That ain't right, man.
That ain't cool. That ain't cool, Mom. That ain't cool.
All right, so tonight, predictions for tonight's episode.
I just hope to have a good time.
Yeah. Danny?
I
don't know, man. I'm hoping it's the Una trial, to be honest with you, but
So when are you gonna have a thumbnail ready for me?
okay. So do you want me to use the no, hold up. I'll have it for you in 20 minutes if you want me to use the generic season 2 poster, or I'll have it for you in a few hours after I've watched the episode and can screen cap something cool. Up to you. You pick.
Don't forget Freeman. Which one was Freeman?
I don't know.
I remember the name Freeman.
Super chat.
And thank you, Eric. Who's Captain Freeman? Now I got to look it up.
Sounds like something from the animated series. I don't know.
Captain Freeman, Star Trek. Freeman was commander of the U.S.
It is
the Cerritos.
Okay.
Okay, she's the incompetent one.
So, Stan, it's midnight Pacific time, so 3 a.m. Eastern. Is when it drops. Yeah. Lucky for me.
I mean, Lower Decks is kind of in a kind of a different category as everything else, because unlike every other Star Trek show, Lower Decks does not focus on the best that Starfleet has to offer. Whereas,
you don't say.
No, Lower Decks
name like Lower Decks.
The fun thing about Lower Decks focuses on the average.
Wasn't there an episode of TNG called Lower Decks?
There was.
Is that where they got the
officers that served on the lower decks of the Enterprise?
Was it a coincidence, or was that a nod?
Where they got the name.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because they did. It
was like there's an episode called First Contact. So
right.
Yeah. And they sort of did a bit of a Lower Decks-ish thing with some of the officers on Voyager too. There was a episode where they
remember Tuvok was putting them through basic training.
Well, I mean, don't you guys remember Harry Kim? Did that guy ever get I'm pretty sure he's still an ensign.
I still think, and I know Garrett Wang would be down for this. I think Garrett Wang should voice Harry Kim on Lower Decks, and he should still be an ensign.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Just lean right into it. Just own it. Yeah.
He should absolutely.
I'm the longest serving ensign in the history of Starfleet.
He should join the crew in Lower Decks of the Cerritos. I was really hoping to be a lieutenant by now. I've been at Starfleet for 34 years, but you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think.
So I think our consensus is we all enjoyed season 1.
Yes.
Maybe different levels for different things. We had different things that we might have taken umbrage with, but overall we all enjoyed it.
Well, did we all agree that the finale was our favorite episode? I think we did, right? Did we all agree on that or no?
It was. If it's not my favorite, it's my second favorite.
Okay.
I don't think the finale was my favorite because I would say I enjoyed Memento Mori.
Okay. No, that was a good one.
Spock Amok. And all those who wander probably more than the finale.
Really? Now the finale is the only one I've actively watched a few times. So
no, I've watched the entire season several times.
I'll probably finish watching
server now since somebody donated the Blu-ray of it.
Oh, okay.
I'll probably finish rewatching the season over the course of the next several days. But
better watch the new episode tonight, pal, because we got a show tomorrow to talk about.
It won't be tonight. It'll be in the morning. It'll be in the morning.
I'll be So here's gonna be my day. Is that so? I gotta watch the episode, download the episode, pull clips from the episode, find a song that matches the tone of the episode, and put together a video so that like I do for each episode, all within a few hours.
Cool. So I'll definitely have the thumbnail before you're done with all that crap. So we're
So if I don't have a thumbnail by 5 o'clock in the morning, I am going to drive to Vegas and punch you in that ugly.
Don't worry, you will. You'll have you'll have a thumbnail by 2 a.m. my time, for sure, at the latest. Yeah.
And Pike, I think true to the thumbnail that we use for this live stream, the real thumbnail for this live stream, Pike has the best hair in Starfleet.
Oh man, yeah, dude.
I did. You know what? I did. I did like your thumbnail. You're pretty good. Second string. Thumbnail maker.
No, Pike. By the way, thank you, Adobe, for the new AI tools in Photoshop, because that's the only reason I was able to make that thumbnail,
dude. My did you have issues like my Adobe was acting weird when I was
but I got to tell you this is so funny because that picture of Pike in the captain's chair that I used, I typed into the you should just click on the select subject, which I didn't think to do that, and instead I typed into it to remove background, and for some reason it added a little old lady peeking out from behind him. It was the weirdest thing. It was so he's still sitting there, and there's this little old ladies behind him, hey, what's going on? I'm like, okay, Adobe, you're weird, and you got to be careful. It's so stupid. Their terms are so weird because I said cut out person, cut him out of the picture, right?
Right.
And it said this would violate the terms and conditions because it's thinking cut.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to do violence.
I
clicked on the view terms and conditions, and violence is a violate. You can't make the AI do violence. It's
that's funny. But I definitely got to bow, guys.
Yeah, no. So we're gonna wrap up there, guys. So remember to watch Strange New Worlds tonight and tomorrow or tomorrow morning, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow, and probably disagree because I'm sure that Danny will be wrong, and well, that kind of goes without saying. I mean, look at that beard. That just shows that you're wrong. And remember, you are the salt of the earth. I'm the salty trekker. And while Danny is wrong, he's not as big of a jerk as Darren.